ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ àdúgbò lọ́wọ́ àti ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tilẹ̀ tọ́kọ ẹ̀mí àpọ̀ ẹ̀bá ń kọ́mọ Adéyẹmọ Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà kí ara orúkọ tó ń dẹrù ìbò lórúkọ gan. ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sọ torí pé bòrà a kò lè fojú dé gbogbo láyé títa ríro lọ́dà kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o. ọ̀wọ́n ẹni ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan lè ṣe wà lọ́nà mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ àti mọ̀ṣọ̀kan ká lè débi ilé ẹgbẹ́ àjọgbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú alágbàdo òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ dèdèlè wo ló ń sànyà ìsànyà òrẹ́rọ̀ bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sí náà ń kán sí ní lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ṣe yí dágbàdàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òkòkò sọ́rán ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn lálàìsí bẹ́rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho á fi kọ̀kọ́ kó sí amúkan yòókù bọ̀ sọ̀yà á tún mú yàrá tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ á fi ṣẹ̀rù wálé wàrà kejì ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjèjì tó ń ṣẹṣẹ ṣẹṣẹ tọ́láwọn oníbomi kó sí wọn láwọn oníbomi sọ̀yà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbàlódé gbogbo níkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí wọ́n tún bomi sọ̀yà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé lọ́sọ̀ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onílé rẹ̀ láéláé torí àbálọ́sọ nìkan dá òkúta òṣèṣe fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ ọ̀pọ̀ sì fi kó dodo láyé yìí ó kú díẹ̀ kí tán dodo láéláé ìtọ́ nílé domi Sunday Ìgbòho arógun mákì tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní ilé tó kó. ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ àdúgbò lọ́wọ́ àti ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tilẹ̀ tó kó ẹ̀mí àpọ̀ ẹ̀bá ń kọ́ wọn Adéyẹmọ Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí ara orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bó lórúkọ gan. ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sọ torí pé bòrà a kò lè fojú ké gbòdò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o. ọ̀wọ́n ẹni ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan lè ṣe wà lọ́nà mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ àti mọ̀ṣọ̀kan ká lè débi ire ẹ̀já jọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú alágbàdo òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ dèdèrè wo ló sànyà ìsànyà òrẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sí náà ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ṣe yí dágbàdàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òkòkò sọ́ràn ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn lálàìsí bẹ́rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ fẹ̀sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho á fi kan pọ̀pọ̀ sí amúkan yòókù bọ̀ sọ̀yà á tún mú yàrá tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ á fi ṣẹ̀rù wálé wàrà kejì ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ṣègbésègbè tọ́láwọn oníbomi kó sínú wọn láwọn oníbomi sọ̀yà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbàlódé gbogbo níkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sínú wọ́n tún bomi sọ̀yà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé lọ́sọ̀ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onílé rẹ̀ láéláé torí àbálọ́sọ nìkan dá òkúta òṣègbè fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò bọ́ sí ìbúkó dodo láyé ní ó kù díẹ̀ kí tọ́ domi láéláé ìtọ́ nílé domi Sunday Ìgbòho arógun mákì ìdí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó.
again. No going back. Ìgbòho òòṣà iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ tẹ̀síwájú. Mr. Koiki ẹ ṣé o, àwọn ọmọ mi ló kí i o. Àwọn ọmọ mi ló kí i o. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, a máa dé lérí o lórúkọ Jésù. Yorùbá nation.
Mo kí gbogbo wa pé ẹ káàárọ̀ níbikíbi tí ẹ bá ti ń gbọ́ wa tí ẹ ti ń wò wá, and I say a very good morning and happy Monday as we go into the 30th day of January 2023. It's coming up to exactly 8:26 a.m. My name is OLAMILEKAN, and my job every day is to continue to tell Nigerians that Nigeria is a failed nation. Báwo la ṣe máa ń mọ tí ìlú bá ti wà failed and Nigeria will collapse anytime soon? As we continue our campaign for the Yoruba nation, and as we continue to tell the international community that election will not solve the problem in Nigeria, and it is better in the interest of everyone to allow Nigeria to dissolve rather than allow Nigeria to go into another civil war. The politicians in Nigeria are fully aware that Nigeria is a failed country, but they are playing the card to keep Nigeria for as much as they can. All the indices to indicate that a country is a failed will be discussed this morning. We're going to play you some videos. I'll take you through again, as usual. Lára àwọn ìdí tí, if anybody is still out there thinking that Nigeria must survive, it does not matter how long. Some of you are saying that Yoruba nation is not coming true. Yoruba nation máa wáyé, but Nigeria fúnra rẹ̀ máa dàwó, because Nigeria has become a failed nation, not today, but it has been so since the union was brought together in 1960. The foundation is not authentic. And iṣẹ́ tèmi ni kí n sọ fún gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n lọ ń gba PVC pé it is too late to rectify Nigeria with your PVC. You cannot bring in a drug baron, a cocaine pusher like Tinubu that has destroyed your life and hope that Tinubu will fix Nigeria. Tinubu does not have the integrity to even move Nigeria forward. He has a lot of cases on his head and so many atrocities tí Tinubu ti ṣe, whether in Lagos, whether in Nigeria. So there's no way you can bring a criminal like Tinubu and tell that Tinubu will come and fix Nigeria. Tinubu is a Yoruba man, but he's a bastard. He's a bastard that wants to keep Nigeria for his own selfish interest with his wife and his children. Olórí burúkú Tinubu, ọmọ àlè tó fẹ́ sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé Nigeria ló máa work. Even the late Chief MKO Abiola wanted to make sure that Nigeria will work. He was eventually killed by Fulani. I will not say that kí Tinubu kó má pa àwọn Fulani má pa, but what I will say is, we will not sit behind here and allow you olórí burúkú, you bastard, you cocaine pusher that doesn't have any integrity, and tell the Yoruba people pé kó wá tún wá lọ dìbò. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó bá ti gba PVC pẹ́pẹ́ lọ dìbò, ọmọ àlè lẹ́yìn náà, nítorí pé Nigeria tẹ́ ń wò yẹn is not a country. Let's talk about Atiku. Atiku is a Fulani man that is not even part of Nigeria in the first place. Should you give your vote to Atiku? Atiku will sell you back, not just to the Fulani. He's ready to negotiate with the Arabs. And Atiku will sell every part of Nigeria to Saudi Arabia and all the Arab countries. Tí ọmọ Yorùbá wà lẹ́ni, and you are not even respected. A lot of Nigerians are living in Dubai. Do you know the amount of atrocity and the amount of wealth that Atiku has kept in Dubai? But yet, as Nigerians, you do not even have that respect at all. The iota of respect is not even with Atiku. Should you give your mandate to Atiku Abubakar, the criminal, the Adamawa as it's called? Atiku is going to kill Nigeria as fast as even what he did during the 8-year tenure under the fraudulent man known as Obasanjo. All these individuals are criminals. that do not have the iota of truth, but they are ready to deceive Nigerians again, that Nigerians will walk again under their own nose. Atiku is a criminal and must not allow to even ask you to continue with Nigeria. Nigeria is a failed state. Let's talk about Peter Obi. Peter Obi is working for the British, and we know that because Peter Obi wants to divide the minds of the Biafrans. Those that Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for in and out. Some of those idiotic Biafrans are now thinking that Peter Obi will solve their problem, and they're now, not all of them, those that are running around thinking that Peter Obi is a saint that could not even fix Anambra. Rather, he took all the money in Anambra and invested it in his own private company. Go and check. Peter Obi knows very well that he is not going to fix Nigeria. Peter Obi wants to negotiate Nigeria again with the British Empire, and we must not give room to that anymore. Nigeria is a failed state, and Peter Obi wants to renegotiate Nigeria with the United Kingdom and some of the Western countries so that they can keep Nigeria again in that abject poverty. Nobody can fix Nigeria. Not even the world economics can fix Nigeria. Not even the world best president around the world can fix Nigeria. Nigeria is not a country. It is a union that was brought together by the British in 1914. And it is time that Yoruba, the Igbo, the Hausa, all the 300 and whatever ethnic groups that was brought together. This is the best option to say no to 2023. If you think that any country will borrow Nigeria any money again, Nigeria is still using 80% of Owoton Wale Lofin service debt. We have not even paid the debt. We are just servicing the debt with 80% of what is coming as an income to Nigeria. Your life will become as abject poverty. Terrorists will become more powerful should any of these go into the country and say they want to be the president of Nigeria. This is the best option for every Nigerian around the world to wake up to reality. The reality that the West does not want the progress of the Aboriginal, the Indigenous people. We must say no to 2023. We are now telling the United Nations to caution the Nigerian government about all the atrocity committed in the southeast part of Nigeria today. We will not sit back and allow that to continue. We will fight with everything that we have to make sure that we collapse that entity called Nigeria that was put together by the British government. The genocide that was committed in 1967, 68, 69, 70 was done by the British government in support of the Fulani agenda. 5 million Igbo people were massacred and killed. And today, there has not been any apology by the British Empire. We are now telling the British government, de-amalgamate Nigeria or there will not be election in Nigeria. We will continue to tell everyone in Nigeria the criminality that is going on in Nigeria, the subjugation, the nepotism. This is the best option to divide Nigeria. Nigeria is not a country and it needs to be divided so that lives of millions of Nigerians can go back to the reality. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí ń bẹ before Nigeria came into existence. And this is the best option. Àwọn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ní sọ̀rọ̀ because every single ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n ti ta ilẹ̀ yẹn fún àwọn òyìnbó and they are not ready to allow the Yoruba people to survive. Tí a bá ti kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà, ayé ọmọ Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan ní ìṣíwájú. You will suffer, you will cry. You will cry and there's not going to be any help. And I'm going to show you and prove to you today again that Nigeria is a failed country and must be divided. But let me prove that again by the video of the criminal. All these presidents that say they are president, they are all criminals in entity. They've told you, and I don't know why you still want to keep Nigeria. But if you think that the military is going to save you, yeah, what the former chief of army staff said some few years ago.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die.
And you will all die should you remain in Nigeria. Let's listen to Jonathan.
How we've been having this conversation about the unity of Nigeria. And I reflect back at some of the prominent statements made by some of our founding leaders. And I feel that probably this will help us to have a conversation on the Nigerian unity. I just brought four, not to bore you. First, and I quote, not my statement, Nigeria is not a nation. It's a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense as there are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria from those who do not. This is accredited to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the former Prime Minister of the Western region. The second one, and I quote, it is true that we politicians always delight in talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria. 60 years ago, there was no country called Nigeria. What is now Nigeria consisted of several large and small communities, all of which were different in their outlooks and beliefs. The advent of the British and that of Western education has not materially altered the situation, and the many and varied communities have not knit themselves into a composite unit. This is accredited to Sir Amadu Bello, former Premier of Northern Region. The third, and I quote, since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country. But the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. The Nigerian unity is only a British intention for the country. This is thinking about
it is not in their hands.
Before we play Mazi Nnamdi Kanu video that was done with an interview with one man that still wants to make Nigeria work by supporting Atiku Abubakar, that's Dele Momodu. Let me remind every Nigerian, ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé election 2023 is not going to give you the peace of mind that you are looking for. Election 2023 kò ní fún yín ní fọ̀kànbalẹ̀. There will be more killings. More of you will die in Ojo Elegba by more container, because all that should have been resolved. Some of you will be kidnapped. Nirisha, the dollar will become up to 1,000 naira. The pound sterling will go up to 1,500. You will kill yourself. You will eat each of your bodies if you remain in Nigeria and allow election to go ahead in 2023. Some of you think that international community will give you visa. You will not get a visa. You will travel through the desert before you can get to Libya if you're lucky to get to Libya. And is Japa. That means you are so going to be lucky. But remind ourselves that millions of people today that are running around, getting their PVC, excited. The Moody have told us, which is what we're going to be discussing after all these videos that we are playing. I still have one more video after these, and that other video, I do not own the copyright. But I'm not sure some of you understand what it takes. The international community does not reflect Nigeria anymore, because Nigeria is not a country and is already a failed nation. But before we go into that again, let's listen to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told this man that believes that Atiku Abubakar should be the president. I'm talking about this Gorimapa man known as Dele Momodu. These were people that were also fighting for the injustice at some point. But Oti Yokunisi, he has connection, he has the network, and every single one of you, mad people all over the place, will go under his Instagram page asking for 5,000 naira to feed your family. You will all die very soon should you allow 2023 to go ahead. A very good morning and welcome to the live transmission. My name is OLAMILEKAN. Let's go again with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And he must not die in the custody of the DSS. Should he have any reason not to release him anytime soon, there will be more woto-woto. The activation has already started in Biafra, and I can assure the Biafrans that the Yoruba alliance with you will continue. With or without those that support it, we will make sure we do everything in our own mind, in our own capacity. We will not fight conventional war with Nigeria, I've told you. But the guerrilla warfare that the IRA fought with the British government to win their independence, we will use every means from the media, from the groundwork, from the intelligence to collapse that failed country so that millions of people can be free from the bondage of the Western power that wants to keep us together with the shit-hole country called Nigeria. My name is OLAMILEKAN. Enjoy this when we come back again.
Because you know what?
Power belongs to the people. Anything we want is what we're going to get.
Once again, I want to ask this. Do you think this dream is realizable without a war? And are you prepared to fight another war?
This dream can be realized without a war. And let me put it this way, as soon as the people, the various ethnic groups in Nigeria realize what Nigeria means to each and every ethnic group, they will subscribe to our position. So it is realizable without a war. Before the white man came, let me ask you this, because it's an interview, which means you can ask me questions and I can ask you. Before the white man came, was there any Nigeria? Before the white man came, did Nigeria exist? It's a simple question that I'm asking you. Dele, did Nigeria exist before?
It didn't, no.
It didn't exist.
One thing is, yeah, the sound is back. Bear with me. We almost lost the broadcast. So let's bring Nnamdi Kanu back again and listen to him one more time. Once again, a very good morning. The audio is back. I'm aware of that. The sound is back. I'm aware of that. My OBS crashed, but it's back on again. So let's go back and listen one more time to the one and only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that was kidnapped, rendition back to Nigeria by the Fulani government, hoping that the Biafra agitation will stop.
It
is not in their hands. Because you know what?
Power belongs to the people. Anything we want is what we're going to get.
Once again, I want to ask this. Do you think this dream is realizable without a war? And are you prepared to fight another war?
This dream can be realized without a war. And let me put it this way, as soon as the people, the various ethnic groups in Nigeria realize what Nigeria means to each and every ethnic group, they will subscribe to our position. So it is realizable without a war. Before the white man came, let me ask you this, because it's an interview, which means you can ask me questions and I can ask you. Before the white man came, was there any Nigeria? Before the white man came, did Nigeria exist? It's a simple question that I'm asking you. Dele, did Nigeria exist before?
It didn't, no.
It didn't exist. Then why are African people, black people dying over something that they did not create? Did any Yoruba man create Nigeria? The answer is no. No Igbo man created Nigeria. No Hausa man did. No Fulani man did. No Kanuri man did. No Jukun man did. When you come to Nigeria, it's always a debate about it is our turn. It is our turn. It is our turn to rule. Now, there are over 250 main ethnic groups in Nigeria. If you keep rotating the presidency every 8 years to each and every ethnic group, times 8 by 250, how many years are you going to get? So some people will die many times over. They will reincarnate many times over. The presidency hasn't come to them. Nigeria is a joke and an absolute mess. It was not created by black people. Therefore, it cannot be sustained by black people. I want to see an Africa where a Yoruba nation, a Yoruba mega nation extends from Togo all the way to Edo State. That's what I want. Because that is authentic Africa. I don't know why Africans are so beholden to something that is alien to them. Are you a white man? The Luga that created Nigeria is a white man. What are you doing as an African defending something that a white man created out of, should I say, a racist intent? Nigeria was an ordinary company, Royal Niger Company, an ordinary business venture that the British converted into a nation. And Africans are killing themselves, trying to maintain something that a white man created. Sometimes I wonder what type of God made African people. I don't understand it. And that is why you have this neo-colonialism. That is why the British High Commissioner had to go to Tinubu to ask him, how do you end this protest? Because if this protest continues, you're jeopardizing our oil. Nnamdi Kanu can use it as an advantage to go and get Biafra. They asked the army to go in and kill people. You people are being ruled by your colonial masters. Your fate is not in your hand. You're in a country that is 60 years old. So to speak, there is no electricity. If I am a Nigerian, I can't come outside Nigeria. I'll be ashamed of myself. For 60 years, you have no electricity. For 60 years, no good roads. For 60 years, no good schools. For 60 years, your politicians are traveling abroad for medical treatment. I ask you, what is there to be proud of about Nigeria? Name one thing you can be proud of. Name one thing. Is a question I'm asking you, Dele. Tell me one thing you can be proud of in Nigeria.
Nigerians are amongst the brightest people in the world, including the Igbo people, of which you are one. You are a very brilliant man. That is Nigeria in your DNA.
I was born a Biafran, not a Nigerian. Nigeria is a historical mistake.
Was there a birth certificate at that time that wrote Biafra on it?
Of course, yes. You want me to show you? I will show it to you. I can email it to you. It's not here with me right now. I can email it to you. My person is Biafra.
I don't mind.
I will email it to you. So you see, what I'm asking is, if Nigeria never existed until the white man came, why are you as a black African man defending it? What's a white man created? Why? When you have Yorubas in Benin Republic, Yoruba is in Togo, they speak your language, they eat your food, they dress the same way you do, you have the same culture, the same value system, the same orientation, and I'm asking you, and the white man came from Europe and said, oh, you are Yoruba from Togo, you speak French. You're Yoruba from Benin Republic, you're going to speak French. But you, Dele, you're Yoruba from Nigeria, you speak English. Are people not perturbed by that? That level of dehumanization, that level of subjugation. You see, the one thing that shocks me about Africa and their class of intellectuals is the fact that they are willing to swallow hook, line, and sinker anything the colonial master gives to them. And I've asked you this very question. Can you go to Europe and create a country as a black man? The answer is no. Then why must you accept what a white man is doing in Africa? Do you see why we are poor and very backwards? Do you see why Nigeria can never have 24 hours of electricity? Never, ever, ever, ever. Because the foundation is faulty. The orientation of Fulani Janja, people were protesting SARS killings in the south. Fulani people in the north were busy having fun and laughing and smiling. and you want to be in the same country with them. Your value system, your reasoning, your understanding, your orientation is not.
Let me back a bit of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is actually saying there. With this video that came out some few days ago, I wanted to make sure we still keep the one of Mazi. Thank you so much for those that have given the super chat, Kingsley and my mother Clement Comfort, as usual. Thank you so much. Good morning. As I want to take you through Nigeria, it failed. Make sure I don't want to lose the video of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that we're actually using this morning. Once again, a very good morning and welcome. As my job is to make sure we bring down Nigeria using the guerrilla warfare tactics. We cannot fight the conventional war with them, but we can fight the guerrilla warfare. So I'm going to bring this video in, but I want to fit everything in together. So let me pause this first. This guy, I'm going to bring it below. Let's try and bring it a little bit. I want to fit everything in so that I want you to see exactly what Nnamdi Kanu was saying. Number one, look at the Moody. Some of you might not understand what Moody is. I want to decide whether Nigeria is a country or not. Nigeria as it stands today, and I hope my mic is on, so that I'm not just yet, my mic is on. So Nnamdi Kanu was actually saying something prior to stopping that video. Yoruba, Igbo, Kanuri, and all other ethnic groups, the South. Hear what this man says about being an infidel is something that cannot be allowed to rule Nigeria. So Peter Obi that says he wants to rule Nigeria is being not just called as an infidel. They are also classifying Gbogbo Yoruba pata, and I don't think some of you understand the meaning of that word infidel. I gave you the meaning some few days ago. Infidel. The meaning of infidel with the pronunciation, bear with us, the system is a little bit, and I'm trying to avoid so that it doesn't crash on us. Not too sure what is wrong with the Google. So probably not to go too much on that, but we leave that for now. But everybody knows the meaning of infidel. Moody'S downgraded Nigerians rating to CAA1 with a stable outlook, concluding its review. So if anybody's thinking that Nigeria is still a country where opportunity will come, you're wasting your time. But I'm gonna do the translation. This guy speaking Hausa, but somebody have been able to translate it, but in a written underneath. So while he's speaking, I will do the translation on behalf of those of us that do not understand that language. And these are the reasons why we can never remain one. We don't speak Hausa, we don't speak Igbo, we don't speak all the other ethnic groups. British knew very well the agenda to collapse the real owner of Nigeria and then move it away from the real owner. Why should we wait for these white people to continue to deceive us, to tell us that go and get your PVC? Just as Katrina Lang, the British High Commissioner, advising the gullible Nigerian, Elogba PVC, I am asking you now, 2023 will not save your life. Let's listen to this man. I need to get his audio out as well in preparedness for that. So let's go into it now. It was said that the contestant of the infidels of Nigeria is referring to Peter Obi as an infidel. But not just Peter Obi, he has already categorized everybody apart from the Hausa that are superior against other people that are Muslim. And not even a Muslim Yoruba man. You are an infidel in the eyes of the northern people. The Hausa will never pray behind you. Won't he ever kill? An Hausa man will not pray behind a Yoruba imam. Even Shehu Lagege, he was never allowed by the Hausa to lead a prayer for them. Even though they were residing in Lagos State, and the same thing happens. The Saudi Arabia does not respect the Yoruba Muslim. They would rather go through the Caliphate, the Sultan of Sokoto, to pass a message to the chief imam of Yoruba land. He came to Kanu. Alhamdulillah, we the indigenes of Kanu, being hospitable. We hosted him, but over there close to his brethren around the stadium. outside the city walls. This thing you saw that was done to him was an honor. If you went to a state, maybe in the southeast, you will never be accorded that. So why are we the same? Why are we living together if we don't have this unity and peace? But the gullible Nigerians think it's about leadership. They think it's about unity that Atiku and the criminal cocaine pusher, the drug baron Tinubu, and also the 419, the Maradona working on behalf of the British Empire. Peter Obi will bring unity to our life. Your life will become more miserable. You will not be happy in Nigeria. You will die, and your life will be meaningless. There will be no education. You will all finish your university. You will be driving Okada. You will have accident, and there will be no hospital to treat you when you get there. There is so many problems, and it is time now we allow Nigeria to dissolve just as it was done in 1991 as Soviet Union. We are not going to be the only country that have been divided before. And if Nigeria will remain, that means it will go into pieces, as the indigenous people have now rising up to say enough is enough. But what I find unfortunate is that there were Muslims in the convoy. He's now referring to Olori Buruku Muslim. He's telling the northerners Olori Buruku Muslim that why should you go with the infidel? The people that do not have religion. The Muslim in the north do not have any values, respect for the Christians, not to talk about even the Muslim Yorubas, the gullible Yorubas that are running around trying to fix Nigeria. You are all going to cry, just as Buhari is making you to cry now. But I will give them the benefit of doubt. Could it have been a subtle way of disarming the infidel? He's trying to say that, let me explain it for those that you can understand. Only I hope and I pray that those Muslim northerners that followed Peter Obi were ready to disarm him and kill him, just as they destabilized the southwest, just as the Yoruba people allow them to destabilize the Western education, the best thing that should have happened to the Yoruba people. Today, the Yorubas are crying all over. There's a transmission going right now with one of my team on the ground. Go and look at all the Yoruba land full of miseries, where you're all now to wait for Kokun Foundation to come and feed you. All the every report you have to go to Rio Hamza to solve it out. Is that how a country is run? Mad people all over the place. Nigeria at the verge of breakup. It is a failed nation, and we must allow it to dissolve as quickly as possible. Let's go again. The Hausa man calls it an act of worship, right? With a question mark. But God forbid, he actually called God forbid more than 3 times. Àwọn Hausa not in sọ fún wa pé àwọn ò lẹ́sìn, pé we are infidels. Àwọn làwọn ní superiority. Àwọn ní àṣẹ láti wá látọ̀dọ̀ wọn. That is what this imam was telling the people in Kano after Peter Obi, the 419, representing the caliphate again, wants to represent the West to keep Nigeria going. Nigeria must be scattered, and it is now. If we fail to do so, some of you will suffer. Not me, but a lot of you will suffer. But rather than everybody not to be in that position where DSS is going to be running after you, let us collapse Nigeria. Let us move out in our millions and deceive, make life much better. Because the deceit that the people that are telling you that we can fix Nigeria by getting your PVC, let me tell you, none of them have the iota of truth in them. They all have hidden agenda behind the closed door to sell Nigeria back again to the highest bidder, the Chinese, the Indian, the Lebanese, and you will remain the slave working there without getting paid, and your life will become more miserable. Ayiri, wallahi, it is to the detriment of your religion. Also, your religion that is more superior than the religion of the Yoruba people, than the religion of the Christian criminals. And you see all the people running around hoping that we are one. These are animals that we should not have anything to engage with them. But it is the work of the British. Let me go back to what Nnamdi Kanu was actually saying there, so that you can understand why some of us are saying that Nigeria is not for us. Yeah, what Nnamdi Kanu is saying.
The orientation of Fulani Janjaweed.
The orientation of the Fulani Janjaweed. In 1,000 years, you cannot change their mindset. So why do we remain in the same country? Divide Nigeria now so that there will be peace of mind, so that the next generation will not suffer. I was so shocked. I just want to divert a little bit. And when some of you come here and talk nonsense to somebody like me, you are crazy. Mad people all over the place. I spoke to a friend of mine yesterday that lived here with me. And 4 years I have not spoken with him. Well, since 2019 was the last time I spoke to him, which is almost 4 years. And I didn't even know that the mother-in-law died. And she was even more than a year ago. That shows how I've been engaged and hooked with the Yoruba nation. When I called him yesterday, Walata was here, my cousin, on Friday. Lo wa ni pe padi wa yẹn pe mama yawo ẹ kú. Mo ní níjọ́ wo ló ṣe. I don't think Walata even understand that the mother died a year ago. Ni mo níjọ́ wo ló kú. Mo níjọ́ wo, because these are people that we move together here in UK, run things together, not criminality things like a lot of these bastard Yoruba people that live here in UK. Some of them commit so many crimes they don't even have good record anymore. Niban okay. So I had to call him yesterday. Niba pe mo ní mo gbọ́ pé wọ́n ní mommy kini kú. Ó ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo ní kí ló wá ṣẹlẹ̀. Do you know what happened? She died in Nigeria. She went to Nigeria and she was killed by olórí burúkú Yoruba people in Nigeria. Mo ní mo ní ṣó ṣẹlẹ̀. Ó ní kíni. Ó náà ti pé 1 year. Kódà wọ́n gbé òkú yẹn padà wá sí London ni wallahi. Mad people all over the place. Ìyá máa jẹ yín diaspora tẹ́ support pé ká break Nigeria. Ẹ lọ sí Nigeria ní padà wá mọ́. Ẹ kú síbẹ̀ ni. Mo ní mo ló ti pé 1 year. Mo ní sọ láti fẹ́ tó bí abi 2 years tẹ́mi àtẹ́tí sọ̀rọ̀. Ó ní Koiki, ó ní wọ́n tó ti busy pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation. Ó ní it is almost 4 years I saw you last. Mo ní láàyè 4 years. That wọ́n sọ fún mọ́ sí mi lánàá àti ìyàwó mi pé so that means pé kiri tí mò ń ṣe yìí ó ti gba time lọ́wọ́ mi ṣá. Èmi sórí rẹ gbogbo ẹni tó bá sọ pé èmi ṣe torí owó Ògúnlákayé máa pa yín ni. Ògúnlákayé máa pa gbogbo yín ni. Mo ní tó ti tó 4 years. I could not believe it. I had to call my mom yesterday. Mo ní ṣe mọ̀ pé kiri tí mo gbé dání ṣá ó ti gba time lọ́wọ́ mi ṣá. 4 years that even somebody that was close to me, the mother-in-law died, I did not know. Mo ní kí ló pa ìyá yẹn. Ó ní Nàìjíríà ló lọ. Ó ní gbogbo investment tí ìyá yẹn ní àwọn ọmọdé Nàìjíríà rẹ̀. I'm sure people that knows I'm not going to mention the name of the family, but they're very, very high important people. Ó ní gbogbo investment tí ìyá yẹn ṣe sí Nàìjíríà. Òun bẹ̀ wọ́n títí pé investment tẹ́ ń gbé lọ sí Nàìjíríà ó ti pọ̀ jù. Ẹ gbé padà wá, ẹ ta gbogbo property yẹn, àwọn ọmọ yín ò lọ sí Nàìjíríà. Any of the children have never been to Nigeria. Nigeria is shit old country. Ní sórí ilé gbogbo ẹni tó bá sọ pé èmi ṣe torí owó. Ní kúure ni mo sọ fún yín. Mad people all over the place. Nípa ni sorry, I had to just, ó kọ̀ wá sí mind me again, he say. Mo ní 4 years I saw you last. Only because you have been so busy with Yoruba nation. Only I understand. These are people that we moved together for the last how many years? Mo sọ fún yín pé incident kan ṣẹlẹ̀. I've said it in one of my broadcasts. Tí mo fẹ́ lọ báyọ̀ gba mọ́tò. Tẹ́ bá rántí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. 2006, after my first, after I went, I was on my way to my shop in 2006, and this same guy called me. Kò mọ̀ pé èmi àti British à ń fa ẹ mọ̀ pé tó bá ní immigration àtẹ̀ntó ní immigration olúkàlùkù máa mọ bó ṣe ń ṣọ̀nù ẹ̀. I told you that this shit old country 14 years before I fought them to get my resident status. So this my friend called me in 2006. I have a driver license. He doesn't have. He has a professional license. And he was driving in Dagenham and they stopped him. And he called me. Oni Koiki, oni license. Mo ní now. Ó náà mọ̀ pé oni náà ló ń ṣe pè mí. Mo ní kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Ó ní àwọn ọlọ́pàá ti dáhùn dúró ní Dagenham, just very close to the McDonald's. Mo ní yàn lè. And when you have a full license and you have a comprehensive insurance, you have the right to move that vehicle away from where it was stopped. But I have immigration issue with the home office. This was ìyàwó ẹ̀ ń tọ̀ sára ní kò rí rẹ́rìn because the wife is a British. Àwọn ọmọ yẹn nísìnyí dáhùn sọ yìí. It's the same woman. Ọmọ tí mo sọ yìí. The same family ni mo sọ yìí. The mother died in Nigeria a year ago. Wọ́n gbé ìyá yẹn padà wá sí London. UK ló ti wá sí ìyá yẹn. Now all the investment that she created in Nigeria, that Olori Buruku country, everything is just like gone. I pity a lot of Yoruba people that are still supporting this madness called Nigeria. Ẹ lọ sílé ẹ̀ ní padà ni mo sọ sẹ́. Ẹ lọ sílé ẹ̀ ní padà. Nítorí pé ìkànnì yín à ń pariwo pé kíran Yorùbá kó dá dúró and get the hell out of the mess. I was shocked yesterday. I could not get myself together yesterday. Mo ní 1 year ni màmá ìyàwó ẹ̀ ti kú ni mo gbọ́ ní London. Ó ní mo busy gan. Mo á ní so á jẹ́ pé mi àti ẹ ti ríra láti bí abi only 2 years. Only the last time I saw you was 2019 because I told you I had a van and he normally has a lot of things that I move for him. Only 2019 I saw him last. And we live together in this country. And somebody say, hey, he's doing Yoruba Nation because he wants to make money on the YouTube. You are mad people all over the place. Mad people all over the place. Mad people all over the place. And I still advise those of you investing in Nigeria, maybe you want to slow down until a nation of Yoruba people come across. If you have any investment in Nigeria, put a full stop to it for now, I say. This woman invested so much in Nigeria, and it is the people in Yoruba people that killed him, or that killed her rather. Àwọn ọlọ́pàá sí Nigeria. Ó lọ Nigeria ni wọ́n padà wá mọ́. Bọ́dì wọn lọ gbé padà wá sí UK. Mo ní ṣe wá sí wọn. Ó ní kíni? Ó ní àwọn ọmọ tó fẹ́ lọ Nigeria. Wọ́n gbé òkú yẹn padà wá ni. Wọ́n mind the cost to focus wọn. Wọ́n gbé òkú yẹn padà wá sí London wá sí ni. Ẹ̀yin olórí burúkú. Àwa láwọn ìyá ṣì, àwọn ìyá jágbájá. Kò ń ṣe ẹ̀yin ìyá lálùbáríkà. Mo kí àwa kan ìyá Alájà Bákàrì. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìyá dáadáa. Ẹ̀yin ìyá dáadáa. À ń sọ fún Muslim Association of Nigeria. Ẹ ń point finger pé àwọn tá à ń sọ ẹ lọ́lẹ̀ ní padà wá ni mo sọ. A ní kí ìran Yorùbá kó dúró. Gbogbo ẹ̀yà lásàlátù. Ẹ máa ṣàṣàlátù ní London. Ẹ lọ́lẹ̀ ní padà wá. Nítorí pé ikú tó máa pa yín nínú Nàìjíríà ló wà. Did you see what happened in Ojú Ẹlẹ́gbà yesterday? A container actually fall over. Kẹ̀kẹ́ ọ̀nà 8 people died. There were so many deaths in Nigeria yesterday. In Ondo State, 10 people were burned to ashes. Wọ́n body wọn mú jáde in Ondo State. I'm sure if they've checked that vehicle, they would have known that that vehicle is not roadworthy to have even driven 1 mile, not to talk about 3 miles. In Bauchi, 30 people died in Nigeria. More of you will die should you want to remain as Nigerians. You will all die. If you have any investment in Nigeria, put a full stop, especially in tí àwọn ọmọ yóò bá ti lọlé, because you will lose everything. Pàdé mi yẹn tó sọ fún mi pé ilẹ̀ kan tóun tún rà, ẹni àwọn tó ṣiṣẹ́ ibi yẹn náà ni ó ní òun ṣẹ̀ tó ń gbọ́ pé wọ́n ti talẹ̀ yẹn. Ó ní òun ṣẹ̀ tó ń gbọ́ pé wọ́n ti talẹ̀ yẹn. I'm not going to mention the name of the state. I pity a lot of Yoruba people. Ẹ máa invest in Nigeria. Ẹni Koiki ń parọ́. This is somebody ọ̀rọ̀ àná ni mo ń sọ yìí. Ọ̀rọ̀ àná. Mo mọ̀ pé ìyá ìyàwó ẹ̀ ti kú. Over a year ago, èmi jókòó sórí Yoruba Nation, mo ń pariwo Yoruba Nation. Àṣé àwọn tó tẹ̀ súnmọ́ mi, nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn tẹ́mi ò tẹ́ bọ̀. Because I was so focused with what I was doing. 4 years, àríra sójú. 4 good years ní London ní bíbá. Láì ṣe pé wà l'Amẹ́ríkà, àjọ wà ní London. And I pity a lot of you that still say, one Nigeria. You will die in that one Nigeria. Let's continue.
South killings in the South.
Again, gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó bá ní investment sílé ẹ put a full stop to it for now. That country is a criminal country. Àwọn ọmọ tí yàyàn bí mo fi sọ mélòó ni wọ́n, because I don't want to give too much description. Wọ́n ní gbogbo wọn dé Nàìjíríà rí and they are adult. Wọ́n ti bímọ, wọ́n ti fẹ́ yá, wọ́n ti fọ́kọ. As far back as 2006 ni mo sọ fún yín nígbà tí mo fẹ́ lọ tí ọlọ́pàá dáhùn dúró òun ò ní license òun ní bí ó ní ìwé ni òun ṣáà ní ó ní paper gbà tí mo débẹ̀ mo ní pàdé mi ìgbà yóò ní sọnù ó ní kí ló ṣe mo ní wọ̀ọ́dá àwọn ọmọ ọ́fíìsì níbà yìí ó ní kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ mo ní ìmọ̀ àtọ́mọ ọ́fíìsì ń fa wàhálà ó ní wọn ò mọ òun bá má ti pè mí ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ yìí ó di iṣu atayọ̀yan because bó ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ tèmi sórí system báyìí wọ́n àwọn tí ń wá wọn ti pẹ́ láti bẹ̀ is it becomes a different story entirely. Ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ yìí for months I was kept in Dover tó di wọ́n fẹ́ gbé mi lọ́lé kọ́ wá ṣe realize pé it was a mistaken identity wọ́n rò pé èèyàn kan tó gbé lọ́lé èmi lẹni náà but wọ́n ní àwọn suspect pé mi ni but they realized I was not the one because gbogbo time I was in university here so I pity a lot of you and èmi jọ́ kọ́ say èmi sọ I'm not your bọ́lẹ̀ kájà media as far back as 2006 ni mo ti ní full UK driver license as far back as 2006 ẹ̀yin olùlọ́sì ẹ̀yin jókòó sórí social media ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé là ń kànú ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé là ń kànú Koiki come back home. I don't have to come back home. This is where I live for now. And I left Nigeria as far back as 1998 before the fraudulent 1999 constitution that was used to bring in Obasanjo. So kí ẹ ṣe máa sọ fún pé kí ó dìgbà tí bá wá sílé lẹ́ẹ̀ma tó dá ẹ má jáde kẹ́ làgùn mọ́ wọn lórí ìbíbà ilé mi wà ẹ̀yin lẹ máa jìyà èmi tí mo jẹ lélẹ̀ cereal èyí táwọn ọmọ Oòduà jẹkù èmi náà bu díẹ̀ sí they gone to school the whole house is quiet. Mad people all over the place. If you have any kind of investment and Biafra, put it on hold until we destroy, and yes, I use the word, destroy Nigeria, because we must not allow anybody to enjoy Nigeria, just as Nigeria did not allow anybody to enjoy. We will destroy every part of Yoruba land. Let's continue.
Fulani people in the north were busy having fun and laughing as well. And you want to be something with them?
You see, Fulani are laughing every day. They are enjoying the wealth of Nigeria. And Nigerians are running all that. Don't get your PVC. We will use PVC to chase them out. Let's go back to hear what this Fulani man, this Hausa man is saying. Let's hear what he has to say again. Only one lie. It is to the detriment of your religion. You vote for an infidel. Infidel. So they believe that their own Muslim religion is more superior than the Christian religion and the Yoruba that are mad Muslim religion. These northerners do not respect your iota of Muslim that you think you are. And that's why they were able to kill Deborah in Kanu. Do you know how many Yoruba people are burned down in Kanu and in the north part of the country? We are not one. And it is time we pieces that country, and that way nobody will enjoy it again. Only the ideology of Islam is above all. But ẹni tó bá lẹ́sìn tí tọ̀dọ̀ tí wọ́n ó wà above you to go and vote for infidel. In principle, if side by side ẹgbọ́rọ̀ yìí ó wá ń fi nǹkan, I'm trying to explain what he's saying kó lè bá yé ẹ̀yin òmùgọ̀tẹ̀ wá lé because ẹ̀yin láti lọ kírun wákàtí márùn-ún but the north does not respect that your Islam. They think that your Islam is like a voodoo because they believe that Etoshen come more Islam. So that your Islam is not the powerful Islam that they are doing in the north. And that's why the Boko Haram and the ISIS being supported by Shetima, the criminal that is now under the drug. Imagine you have drug baron, cocaine pusher, Tinubu. You now have a terrorist man. And oh my God, what kind of madness do we have in that country? One of them is terrorist man. Now I know why they killed the late Dr. Malafia. He was actually pointing to Shetima because Shetima is the terrorist that also kept Shekau that they were looking for. He was in the house of Shetima, sleeping and drinking, probably maybe sleeping with the children as well. Mad people all over the place. Morimbe, Momi, Jaya. Yami, Omolara, Emma Binu, the rest of you, Mokibu Goyle Konsi. It's very hot this morning. Muslim of whatever. Emma wọn kò sọ ó ní kò bá matter kò bá jẹ́ Muslim tó ń ṣe ṣìnà kò bá jẹ́ Muslim tó ń bá yàwó níyàwó sùn kò bá jẹ́ Muslim tó ń máa cohort. It does not matter as long as he is a Muslim in the north. He is far better than the Muslim in the southwest. He is far even much better than the infidel known as the Christian. He said that Muslim of whatever character he may be. He, the Muslim, is the one to be voted for. And you think they are stupid. I pity a lot of Yoruba people. I pity a lot of Igbo people. South. Those of you running around trying to kill yourself for Peter Obi. You are not going to see what is going to happen. The North has a different agenda. They will deal with Tinubu. They will deal with Peter Obi. And they will probably favor Atiku, the Fulani man. Because that person is still more. Imagine somebody where they do crime. The person where they commit crime, where they sin, this man say he's still much closer to Allah. And then let's go back again and hear what our brother Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say.
Your value system, your reasoning, your understanding, your orientation. And
this is what Dele Momodu wants to bring. Dele Momodu wants to go and bring a Fulani Janja we to still come and become the president of Nigeria. That's why he's supporting Atiku. He will probably tell you, I'm not getting anything from me too. I'm just looking for the best of Nigeria. What Nigeria? Dele Momodu is more knowledgeable to know that Nigeria is a crime scene, and yet he's still using his media to support the Fulani agenda against Yoruba people. And you see Yoruba people go under his I'm doing a giveaway. Every one of them is doing giveaway. One of my friends, I'm not going to mention the name, just give us 1 million to do giveaway. Olori Buruku people. Mad people all over the place, you are all. My mom said, Kimama, shake me for you, but mad people is something that I can continue to get into your ears. Election is not going to solve our problem. 16 minutes past 9, time is fast spent, and I still have one more video, and then that video will take us maybe about 20 minutes. That video was in 2010. It belongs to Al Jazeera. But let me quickly push this so that we can get it out of the way quickly.
Never. Why did Britain leave the EU? Then they're asking, are they not Christians? Are they not Democrats? Are they not, don't they believe in free trade and voting people in and voting them out? But then, why did Britain leave the EU? Why? The same Britain that left the EU is asking me not to leave Nigeria. Nigeria that is only 100 years old. Your grandfather was not a Nigerian. Was not. So why must you throw away the history of your family, the rich history of Yoruba people? Because a white man called the place Nigeria. Why must you do that? Why? Can I go to England and name them and name them Albania and say all your history is now gone? We are doing our ancestors a disservice. And let me tell you why Black Africa cannot go forward. Some people, not you, some people accepted.
Just mention that it's him as well. Look at his head there, supporting a Fulani man. Let's go back to that man that is speaking because I need to push the video quickly. But if it is a Muslim, just as they have it now, Muslim ticket, drug baron, cocaine pusher with terrorist man, the moment they put Tinubu there, Tinubu will probably be very sick because he's not healthy. Tinubu will spend more time in hospital while Shetima runs the government. Eje Boyoya. Then the choice will be for the better one. So since it's a Muslim, you know what he's saying? We have Atiku, we have Tinubu and Shetima. So let's probably opt for Atiku, not even Tinubu, because Tinubu is a Yoruba Muslim. And Shetima, okay, we know he's a Fulani man, but we prefer. He's saying that if there's option, and the option is there, 3 candidates. Forget about Showore. Showore is not going anywhere. Showore is just, I mean, he's pushing his energy. At least he knows that's revolution, and we love him so much. So let Showore just be using that platform to knock them. You know, when he has opportunity to go sort of Simolori, but Showore, nobody's going to vote for Showore. So Showore is just enjoying the time. And I don't see Kwankwaso doing anything as well. Rather than the worst, the bad, imagine, only rather than the worst, the bad is preferable. That is how it is done. This is the secret of life. Only this is how it is meant to be done. And it has been done like that ever since the British gave the government to the North by deceiving everybody in 1959 and then fraudulently rigged the election for the northern part. The census as at 1959 was unfavorable to the North because the British rigged it. But it is the darkness and ignorance to say you are going to vote for somebody that does not have religion like Peter Obi, somebody that does not have religion like the Yoruba Muslim. They hate the Yoruba Muslim just as they hate the Christian. And that is why Deborah was not just stoned to death, she was even burnt alive. If you are still in the North, I pity what you are doing there. Whatever happened to you is completely not of our own concern anymore. Read the history of Nigeria. This bastard is telling us to go and read the history. As if there was a Nigeria. The history of Nigeria that has been distorted and the history of Nigeria that does not give us the real people we are. What is Nigeria? Who are Nigerians? But ignorant all over the place. Oh, because you now live abroad. You have a second passport. You want to keep Nigeria. Lori Buruku people. Anytime you find Nigeria in peace, it is the Muslim who is in power. Can you imagine what he's saying? But if they are the ones in power, like Jonathan was in power, they will instigate crisis and create any kind of problem, just as Obasanjo. That's what it's actually saying. And that's why Buhari is dealing with every single one of you mad people at all. Ìyà jẹ ṣẹ́gẹ̀ sí lára ṣé bàbá ṣé Buhari ẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣẹ́gẹ̀ mo yóò yà. Calamity such that even after their tenure we suffer. So that means the tenure of Buhari is good according to this guy. If Buhari was stoned in Katsina and your Mali Yoruba, you are still waiting for us to tell you what to do. Clearly, stone and all when it came to Lagos, because some of you don't have the balls. That's why I like the North. I not on anything that flare up, they burn anything down. They don't care whatever it is. But hey, structure, but yet nobody, everybody's keen for petrol. 4 days, no petrol. Money, you don't have no money. They don't have to work. So where do you get the money? They say they extend it. Poor people don't have money. So what is the purpose of it? They're extending it because of their criminal, politicians that have so many of those naira, and they can take it to the bank and get the new note. And they can even imagine new note that is not in circulation. We are already seeing the new note. They're spreading it in party. What Yoruba people do? Very soon, Boko Haram, at ISIS. You think those people they joke? Boko Haram don't joke. They are in Nigeria. So no, they are coming to meet you very soon. They will kidnap you and they'll come and attack you. They are in Nigeria. So they are already in Nigeria. ISIS is operating in Nigeria. And you don't even know who is ISIS. Their wife, Tombasu, they are in Nigeria. Their men, their children, they are all in Nigeria. And they are also in Southwest waiting to activate. Wallahi, they were planted long ago. Wallahi, it was during their tenure that they planted for us this time. Bomb that is just exploding. No matter how rotten yours, there is a way you will never be treated if it was there. So why are we together? Why are we together? You are the ignorant of what calamity it protects you from. When you lose it and no longer have it, you realize your mistake. So he's telling them, don't let us lose this opportunity again. No matter how spoiled the entrance door is, nobody will want to come in there. He thinks that the door is locked, but flinging your door wide open and allow infidel, the Yoruba infidel, the Igbo infidel, and all the other ethnic, they are the only superior in Nigeria. No one is as crazy as you. And you pray for Allah's protection, He will protect you. I pity the Yoruba people. Now let's come back again to the next part of the program. It's just coming up to almost 8:44 a.m. from London. My name is OLAMILEKAN. It's January the 30th. Hey Koiki, what are we going to do? What is the way forward? No, you continue to be asking me the way forward. I'm waiting. Continue to say we don't have no idea, and let people continue to deceive you that the way that we are saying to you is not the right way. You think Nigeria will give you room for anything? Nigeria is ready to defend Nigeria. When I say Nigeria, Nigeria is the North, and they are ready to defend Nigeria. Not Nigerians, because Nigerians are the Igbo, the Yoruba, but the real Nigeria is the North. The real Nigeria is the North. Every parastatal is in the northern part of Nigeria today, not in the southeast, not in the middle belt, and that is why they are killing people in Benue State. Massacring people in Benue State every day. Governor Autumn could not even have a visit with Buhari, the Fulani man, dead or alive. Now let's come back to reality. What is the Moody saying? According to what we heard on the 27th of January. Moody is a rating action, and it has actually now downgraded Nigerian rating. I don't know what CAA1 means, with a stable outlook concluding its review. And this came out on the 27th of January this year. According to Paris, January 27, 2023, Moody's Investor Service. This is what people see before they want to come and invest in your shithole country. Because Nigeria is a game that the politicians are using their head to deceive a lot of Nigerians. Go and get your PVC. But Moody is saying that Nigeria has been downgraded. Let's read a little bit about it. Moody Investors Service, as today, which is on the 27th, downgraded the government of Nigeria's long-term foreign currency and local currency issuer rating, as well as its foreign currency senior unsecured debt rating to CAA1 from B3. I don't know what all that means, but I'm sure those that understand what it means, even though if I try to find it now, like I said, I'm having a bit of problem with my Google and it's taking time, and I don't want that to crash what we are doing. So we will just leave it, but I'll probably maybe explain what that means to you later again. And change the outlook to stable. Moody has also downgraded Nigeria foreign currency senior unsecured MTN program rating to P CAA1 from PB3. We don't even have any foreign exchange left. They've actually spent everything because nothing is actually coming into Nigeria as it's meant to be. The crude oil that gives us money is now being half from what we told you according to Bloomberg some few weeks ago. Today's rating action concludes the review for downgrade initiated on the 21st of October 2022. Moody's expectation that the government fiscal and debt position will continue to deteriorate is the main driver behind the downgrade. I want you to take note of these. All these people that don't understand how reality works. You think reality is about, hey, Ọlọ́run ti ṣe, hey, Ọlọ́run ti gbà, Ọlọ́run ti gbé kíní kan. No. We talk about reality. Forget about God. Everything we attach God to. The same God tá à ń sọ pé ó bà Nàìjíríà jẹ́, òun náà lọ tuntun fi kó yín lọ́mọ ọbẹ̀ jẹ báyìí. Yes, ká ló fẹ́ Ọlọ́run. Everything that about the Ọlọ́run báyìí, hey, as if Ọlọ́run ló operate UK. Ṣọ́lọ́run ló operate UK. Mad people all over the place. We all live in denial. Yes, we are godly people does not mean we should be stupid. And I can see now, Bolekaja diaspora are stupid that they put everything in the hands of God. Hey, Ọlọ́run ti ṣe o. Hey, Ọlọ́run ti gbà o. Ọlọ́run ti gbé wa débẹ̀ o. Ọlọ́run ti... Mad people all over the place. We are talking about reality. They talk about God. Everything we attach God to it. We will deal, human beings, ló máa deal pẹ̀lú problem. And you think Nigeria wants to go down easily. Nigeria does not want to go down easy. Nigeria will deal with anybody that wants to make sure that Nigeria goes down. So if anybody's thinking that what in Dagbedani, it will be as easy, you must be joking. Let's go into it. Moody's expectation that the Nigerian federal government fiscal and debt position will continue. Oh mama sinking. There's no expectation that it's going to go up regardless of who wants to be your shit-hole president. Will continue to deteriorate is the main driver behind the rating being downgraded. Let's continue. Once again, a very good morning to everyone that have joined us. Good afternoon to those of you that are living in different parts of the globe. And good night to those that are almost going into the late night like Japan, Australia, and those parts of the world. The government faces wide range of fiscal pressure in Nigeria, while the capacity to respond remains constrained by Nigerians' long-standing institutional weakness and social challenges. So some of you think that Nigeria is strong. No, Nigeria is no longer strong. We just need to collapse it from inside. Outside, the international body knows that Nigeria is not strong in terms of its institution, in terms of things that some of you think that is strong about. But we must be tactical and we must be planning, not coming on the social media and saying we have an idea. No, use all those ideas to bring it down as quickly as possible, because already Nigeria is in a big mess. The government faces a wide range of fiscal pressure, while the capacity to respond remains constrained by Nigeria's long-standing institutional weakness and social challenges. Ultimately, the risk that a negative feedback loop set in over the next few couple of years between higher government borrowing needs and the rising interest rate has intensified, exacerbating the policy trade-off between servicing debt and financing other key spending items. So let me break it down. Mo kàn break it down here because ẹlòmíì tá a bá ka gbogbo kíní kò yé. Nǹkan sọ ni pé, and I just want to give you, how the Nigerian paper are breaking down as an average Nigeria, okay? This is a real document. But Vanguard, or which one is this one? This day, I want to break it down in a way that you will understand it quickly. Moody's lower Nigeria's rating over our revenue, our debt crisis, project stable, and outlook for economy. So at least you understand what it means as a layman. But in terms of how it came gone, so let's go with the layman, because everybody is a layman in Nigeria, including myself. But the layman that does not have assets is talking to somebody outside. Come back, Tinubu go fix Nigeria. Moody ti sọ pé Nigeria ò lè work, so I don't have to come back home. And if you have investment in Nigeria, for now, wind it down. Gbogbo project ẹ bá ń ṣe, ẹ sì close it down for now and keep your money abroad, because some of you will end up crying if you do not do so now. Moody's investor, so I can now give it to you as a layman. Okay, we started with this, but if you want this document, I can send it to you, or I'll probably put it on our website. So let's go with the layman, paper to break it down. Moody Investor Services ó ti downgrade in Nigeria nítorí pé fiscal àti debt crisis Nigeria debt crisis is going to over 100 trillion naira gbèsè tá a jẹ ní Nàìjíríà a sì ń san interest ní àìtí sanjú owó tó ò bá yí ẹ jẹ́ ṣàlàyé fún ẹ tó bá gba 1,000 naira tí wọ́n wá sọ pé wọ́n máa fi 250 kún lórí tí ẹ bá ti tètè san 1,000 yẹn torí 250 orí ẹ̀ nìkan ló ṣe ń san òun lọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà. So everybody that needs to understand gbèsè Nàìjíríà gangan àìtí bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí san debt péré la ṣe ń san, and Moody is still saying that Nàìjíríà ṣe kò lè gbérí. Bá lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn pastor Gio, pastor Lee Gbigbi, Wiki, Bliblibli, wọ́n bá máa ṣàdúrà lójoojúmọ́ pé pray fún Nàìjíríà. Ìyẹn iṣẹ́ àdúrà ọ̀ràn tó lọ níta ìyẹn làwọn máa ń sọ fún yín ká pray Ọlọ́run ti ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ́lọ́run ṣe ẹgbẹ́ gbọ́jà gbajàgba náà. À ń sọ reality kí ni kan Moody pẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run ti ṣe àní Nàìjíríà jagajaga. But everybody now is still praying for Nigeria. Ẹ lọ sórí social media, pray for Nigeria, pray for Nigeria. God, disrespect Ọlọ́run, disrespect God, idiotic people. Ẹ fi ipò alábòsí lọ́lọ́run tẹ́yìn pé yẹn ni, and you think that you are the only one that knows God. There are so many religions around the world, and it is not your right to say pé ẹ̀sìn kan ló máa gbé ẹ̀sìn kan lọ. No, olúkálùkù lọ ṣe tiẹ̀. Ìṣẹ̀ṣe làwa ń ṣe kó tó di pé àwọn olórí burúkú British dé tọ́jà gbogbo ẹ̀rú mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́. Moody's Investor Services has it downgraded Nigeria over deteriorating fiscal and debt crisis. It, however, projected a stable outlook for the country's economy. Moody, one of the world's leading rating agency. The reason why you don't get visa, the reason why you don't have a job, the reason why you are suffering is under everything I'm discussing now. Disclosed this in his latest report released at the weekend. You think when they were releasing, they were calling God? You think when they were releasing, they had anything to do with God? Even though we know that if the Yoruba people, the Biafra people have their own economy, we will do faster, and Moody does not want that, and that is why they want to use you as a projection, as a statistics in Nigeria. And when we pull out of Nigeria, we will have a better rating as Yoruba people, as Igbo people, as Biafra people, as Arewa people. But they don't want that to happen. So I'm not supporting Moody because they are all part of the white people that keeps us. And I'm sure so many Yoruba people working there, they're probably cleaning toilets and moving desks and cleaning the offices and hoovering, when the real people that should be at home also having a Moody to decide and make projection for the international community. But we can't do that in Nigeria. The agency downgraded Nigeria long-term foreign currency and local currency issue rating, as well as its foreign currency senior unsecured debt rating, and changed the outlook to stable. It also downgraded Nigeria's foreign currency senior unsecured MTN program rating. According to Moody, the latest rating action concluded The review for downgrade initiated on 21st of October, exactly what I've read before. Anyway, Moody's said his expectation that the government fiscal and debt position will continue to be worse. Some of you will cry. You bankers at home, you will cry. You will work. You will not get the result. And those of you that do not have work, you will be used by all the politicians as IGBOHO, as thugs. Ìyà jẹ ṣégè sí lára. Bó ṣe ní gbogbo àwọn tó máa ń wọ súùtù káàkiri yẹn nínú ooru yẹn, ẹ jẹ ṣégè ìyà, ẹ jẹ moyóòyà. According to Moody's, the government faces wide range of fiscal pressure. This is where we talk to the elite that is not supporting Yoruba nation, okay? This is for you because you understand. An average Yoruba man is just looking for what to eat in a buka. But an elite that is in Nigeria thinking that they understand. I'm a lawyer, I'm a legal practitioner, I'm a businessman, I'm a blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they bring container. This is for you, okay? According to Moody's, the government faces wide range of fiscal pressure while the capacity to respond remains constrained by Nigerians' long-standing institutional weakness and social challenges. There's no institutional, because institution is where it says, release him as Nnamdi Kanu. Hey, no, we're not going to release Nnamdi Kanu. If you release him now, it will be more problem. Whether you release him or not, there will be more problem for a lot of you. Good morning to all our mothers that have joined. And once again, it might be if I've not mentioned your name, but I can cite everyone as you're coming in. It added, ultimately, the risk that a negative feedback loop set in over the next couple of years between higher government borrowing. The more that they get into power, they'll be looking for what to borrow. One mama wa because if they borrow, and that is what they'll be looking for. Anywhere they can get. It does not matter what interest they want to give them. Just borrow us money. We want to go and do project because we don't have money. Because even if we have the crude oil, the damage that has been done in that sector will not be able to revive because you cannot fix the refinery. But what they did was craftily allow Dangote to build a refinery using Nigeria wealth. Mad people all over the place. Ultimately, the risk that a negative feedback loop set in over the next couple of years between higher government borrowing needs and the rising interest rates have intensified, excavating the policy trade-off between a servicing debt and financing other key spending items. Moody's noted that 2023 budget is based on an even large fiscal deficit than in 2022, adding that the government funding option remain narrow and reliant on the central bank financing. I know some of you don't understand all this. The reason why you are poor is what we're explaining to you. But I want to education there. One more quick answer. They can't deny it. That's the original article, okay? But I'm just giving it to you from the breakdown of what they are saying, from the perspective of how you will understand it. Moody's, however, said the outlook is stable, while a new administration could, can, and when they use the word could means that only possible, only not possible. Can means that only possible. And I might not be able to, let me give it to you from my phone here. When they say something is could, that means people guarantee what's the meaning of could. When something is could, once again, a very good morning and welcome to the program. So, could. Again, used to indicate possibility. So when they say that a new administration like Tinubu, a new administration like Atiku, a new administration like Peter Obi could, guarantee. Guarantee, could guarantee rara. So the word could is used to indicate possibility. But commit will guarantee used in making suggestion or polite request. So when they say why a new administration could reinvigorate the reform impetus in Nigeria after the general election planned for February 25th, 2023, and thereby support fiscal consolidation, implementation will likely remain lengthy and mark social and institutional constraints. Indeed, the government has long held the aim of raising non-oil revenue and phasing out the costly oil subsidy. Tọ́ba your subsidy kúrò pẹ́rẹ́ moyoya. You are still buying petrol. Let me explain what that means. Ìdí tí petrol ṣì ń di èyí tẹ́ ṣe ríra nísìnyí 300, 400. even with the subsidy on it, by the time they remove that subsidy, some of you would definitely refuse to even use it. Ẹ máa ta generator ibẹ̀ yìí ni. Ẹ máa jùnú ni because you will not be able to afford it. Mọ́tò tẹ̀lé yẹn ẹ máa abandon it because the cost of fueling that vehicle ó máa lọ sí close to, he might exaggerate you. You'll probably be buying petrol before the end of the year, should you remain in Nigeria, at close to 1,000 naira. Because the government does not have any money. So they are trying to cut gbogbo owó tó ń ná sínú area yẹn, and all this sector has been enjoyed by people like, Tedola, the Alakija, and the ones from the southeast, the middle belt, the north, that are giving all kind. Imagine they give people our own imagine they give them, where they bring the crude oil from. Imagine we give you OPL, and then those ones we sell it to the Oyibo people. Oyibo people will now start giving them money, and they become a billionaire. And people like Odetola is moving around in London, bringing himself as if the money he's making is his own father's money. Or criminals. But I pity a lot of you, because all you go and listen to AY, the comedian. Hey, oh yeah, who's gonna be the next one? I just spoke to Peter Obio. Oh yeah, she will really think, hey, I still have room. Oh, Tinubu, are you gonna come and talk to me? Or Linda Keji, or some of you will say, all this influencer, and you think that nobody can fix Nigeria. Nigeria ti kú pátápátá. And that is what I am saying. Nigeria is a failed nation. We are not taking calls this morning. It's just a straight program. So don't think that you're going to be able to call in. Moody also lower Nigeria local currency and foreign currency. The local currency is the one they are running. Hey, we don't even know where the money is. Oh, you poor people don't have money anyway. And you poor people. So why are you stressing yourself? Imagine somebody put old Naira note in the bank. At the cashier, he went to the ATM, he still removed the same old Naira note. Is that not madness? And some of you cannot even use you have money in your account, rich people, blood money, any kind of money. You have money in your GT, you travel to Dubai because you can't get visa to UK, but you can still go to Dubai. You cannot use your GT to purchase anything, even though they say it's a MasterCard, it's a Visa card. Imagine a Nigerian cannot use their card to purchase something outside Nigeria, because GT cannot guarantee that money being paid back. Some of the airlines were crying last year, hey, you are owing us money, oh Nigeria. You will see more problem ahead. Continue to deceive yourself that Nigeria is still going to work. Hey, we are praying for Nigeria in my church. It's going to work. Mumu people. Is that how a country works? The local currency ceiling at B2 remained 2 notch above the foreign issuer rating, incorporating some degree of unpredictability of government actions, and look at what they say, political risk. So the election coming is going to also dabaru everything for you. Once again, my name is OLAMILEKAN, and this is KOIKIMEDIA, bringing the world closer to your doorstep, as I continue to give you every reason to say Nigeria is a failed state. And the reliance on a single revenue, only one single revenue, Lani, and that is the crude oil. And the crude oil now was up and is not moving forward. So more people will become abject poverty. As at now, 206 million, 133 million Nigerians do not have the basic things to eat. And everybody prays every day, hoping that one day life will be better for them in Jesus' name. Amen. Let's continue. And I'm going to be getting that video ready very soon so that we can then, take you through the last part of the program. So just to break it down to an average man, an average layman, what you have actually read with me, let me close this, is what Moody that downgraded Nigeria this year. So Nigeria is a failed country. I'm not sure whether this is going to open, and I don't want anything to stop us. If it opens, if not, I close it, because I had all this ready before the crash. But this is my final part. I do not own the copyright to this video. This video was generated 12 years ago. Has anything changed in Nigeria in the last 12 years? I'm going to get this video on now. I'm going to come off my seat. I'm going to mute my mic. Enjoy the video. If this video was 12 years ago, let me make sure I have my desktop audio out. No sound. Once again, Nigeria, the country you love so much, is about to go down. And it's going to go down. In Jesus' name. He say, Ashe, Oma wasile, Lashe Dumari. Ogboro wasile, Inshallah. And those Yoruba people, once again, like I said, somebody close to me again, very, very close. We're close. Musofin, as far back as 2006, I was the only one that took the risk láti fi lọ bá gba mọ́tò because I had a driver license, full driver license. In 2006, the mother-in-law was killed by Yoruba people anyway, not Nigeria. But definitely, when we look at it, you look at the whole problem, is because of because Yoruba people are making money in Nigeria. Why do you want to kill anybody that is coming from abroad? She was killed in Nigeria. The children could not even take it for her to be buried in Nigeria. They paid whatever is going to cost them. And she was returned back here to London, where she was buried. May her soul rest in peace. That is the Nigeria for you. All the investment now. Do you think the children will go to Nigeria to go and do what? In that shithole country. That means some generation is already gone. Probably maybe when we have Yoruba country, they will think about it. These are not people that will go to Nigeria. They would rather travel to other countries around the world than go to Nigeria. They are doing very well here. They will never invest in Nigeria because the investment that their mother did in Nigeria is not bringing any result back. So if you are still investing in Nigeria, good luck to you and your family. Let's watch this.
Of presidential power and now a looming constitutional crisis along with the country's other woes. Is Nigeria on its way to becoming
a failed state? This is Inside Story. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Mike Hanna. Nigeria's hard-won non-sectarian democracy is once again under threat. The country has a new interim leader, Goodluck Jonathan, who Parliament has established as acting president in the absence due to ill health of Umaru Yar'Adua. His first action to dismiss the powerful justice minister who opposed the parliamentary decision. This at a time of new evidence about extrajudicial killings and increased tension between the largely Muslim north and predominantly Christian south. We begin with this report from Rosa Ibrahimova.
Taking out onto the street, made to lie face down, and then shot in the back by Nigerian police. This chilling video obtained by Al Jazeera shows Nigerian security forces involved in what appears to be extrajudicial executions of members of the Islamist group Boko Haram. They proclaimed themselves opposed to Western civilization, and last July staged an uprising, attacking police stations and Christian churches. Just the latest images of the violence tearing Nigeria apart, that often pits one religious group against the other. The country is almost evenly divided between the Muslim north and the Christian south. That divide and tribal rivalries have claimed over 13,000 lives since the end of the military rule in 1999. Most recently, riots in and around the city of Jos in central Nigeria saw 400 people die. Mostly Muslims, women and babies were burned, stabbed and dumped in village wells. But experts caution sectarian tensions are not the only factor.
It's the problem of government discrimination, a policy of government discrimination, which denies Nigerians who cannot claim that their ancestors come from that place access to basic economic and educational opportunities. So all of this breeds a tremendous amount of frustration among the population, which we see evidenced in these sporadic, very deadly outbreaks of violence.
Nigeria has wealth. It's Africa's second largest economy and its largest oil producer. But the oil money, critics say, is benefiting only a select few. Rebels in the Niger Delta say they want those oil resources to work for the benefit of the people. The rebels have called off a truce with the central government. It's that kind of anger at perceived corruption that experts say is also making some Nigerians to turn to groups like Boko Haram. And the violence, analysts say, isn't driven only by religious tensions.
I think it speaks of a more broader problem of poverty and frustration. And I think that so long as the authorities at state and federal level fail to deal with those underlying causes, there must be a danger that this problem is going to increase rather than disappear.
More than half of Nigeria's population lives on $2 a day, growing poorer and angrier, while oil keeps making a few very rich. It's a simmering situation Vice President Goodluck Jonathan will have to address as he tries to fill the political vacuum as the acting president. Rosie Bragimova for Inside Story.
Joining us now to discuss this further are our guests. In Abuja, Mohammed Balori. He's a former government chairman in Borno State. In Manchester, Musa Aliyu from the Desmond Tutu Center for War and Peace Studies at Liverpool Hope University. And in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Buba Masawa. He's an associate professor of political science at Washington and Jefferson College. Now, in recent days, Al Jazeera broadcast footage from Borno State that constituted irrefutable evidence of extrajudicial killings.
Let me pause that. I hope you notice that because Yoruba Kokan, did you see that there's no Yoruba people in that? Some of this can be biased as well in their projection of what Nigeria looks like. Cheripe, within that three people, they should have balanced it. One Hausa, one Igbo, one Yoruba, to get the perspective of what they want to discuss. I pity a lot of you that still believe, that it is only the Western media that will give you exactly what you need to hear. I pity a lot of you. Let's hear a little bit more, and then we come back. I'm going to wind down. Not very long more, but let's listen a little bit more.
Being held accountable. Let's begin with Mohammed Balori in Abuja. Is there a culture of impunity among the security forces?
Well, actually, this is a total lack of discipline from the security operators. It's very unfortunate that we saw what you shown in Al Jazeera International, that a policeman killing some innocent unarmed children. It's very unfortunate. But this is basically it's a tradition. Initially, the genesis of the Boko Haram itself as a result of conflict between a joint patrol team by the state governor, joint patrol police and the military. So they had a problem with the members of the Boko Haram. They shot some of them. They complained to the government that the government should do something and bring these security officers into book. For not doing that, they have been sending warnings that they will now take action by themselves. Consequently, that leads to the emergence of the Boko Haram.
Well, let's go to Musa Aliyu in Manchester. And this is one specific incident that we are referring to, but there have been numerous others and many allegations of excesses by the security forces. That question that I asked, is there a culture of impunity? Are these people being held accountable?
Absolutely, there is a culture of impunity. But then what we need to see also is the fact that there is a problem at the leadership itself. Because if the leader has taken enough responsibility, these things wouldn't be happening. You see, like my colleague just said, this issue has been reported by Human Rights Watch long ago, but nothing was done. Now, look at the case of just now. There are a lot of allegations against security operatives, extrajudicial killings that went over a period of time, but then nothing has been done. So it means the government also is complicit in this, because if they have done the right thing, then this thing wouldn't continue.
Buba Masawa in Pittsburgh, we're hearing here that it's not just actions on the ground, it's also a central authority that is not fulfilling its function. Your view?
Well, indeed, there has been a culture of impunity. Similarly, the history of extrajudicial killings have been long in Nigeria, and people have come to expect some of those, unfortunately. And as my colleagues articulated their views, it has been a problem. But this problem points to the issue of accountability itself in general. Most people will agree with the notion that accountability has been lacking at different levels, and therefore this is just fitting into the general scenario of what.
And let me say this, as much as a lot of you don't understand that this conversation is only focused from the northern part of Nigeria, they are not calculating the southwest, the southeast that they're killing more Biafrans in that part of the region today. So you can see, the bias when we talk about the international media. But an average Nigerian believes that when Al Jazeera talk, is saying the right thing. When koikimedia talks, oh, no. Don't believe what Koiki is saying, no. That one is just using Yoruba Nation, to project himself. But this is a scorecard of the federal government after 8 years. And as we speak today, it's still an ongoing issue. So we're going to be winding down, but I can tell you that there is a rally, a peaceful one, going ahead as we speak right now. My system is playing a little bit. I'm very, very careful, not to move around too much because I can see that it's still struggling. Normally the YouTube, the Google will open, but it's still struggling. But I'm going to wind down this program so that at least we have, the 1 hour, slot that we have done is more than enough. We appreciate everyone that have joined us. Sorry, I didn't back call. Join me at 11 o'clock on Star Radio UK. Like I said, there is an ongoing event in Ibadan as I speak to you right now, where the people Omo Yoruba, so if you can join them, please do so. My name is Olayomi Koiki. We can't go without hearing our normal track, Jekomo, which is as we continue to appreciate our father, Professor Adebanjo Akintoye. He is the only leader in the Yoruba that we believe. Any other one, they have the right to do whatever they want to do. But as far as we are concerned, we will wait for as much as what and when the projection of moving forward with Yoruba Nation, movement and project. So if anybody wants to do any other thing, Yoruba ni wọ́n ní right, that's like anything. But one thing is, whatever that does not come from Baba Akintoye, from IGBOHO, that means that it is not coming from us. So it does not matter how you feel, how you expect us maybe to come to your stool. We're not going to come to your stool. We will remain and wait for Baba Akintoye. Àwọn kan tẹ́ ń béèrè pé ṣé Baba Akintoye ló ní Yoruba Nation ni, ṣé IGBOHO ló ní Yoruba Nation? It does not matter. The Nigeria we know does not respect any other person apart from IGBOHO and Baba Akintoye. Àwọn ló dé sọ̀rọ̀ tí Nigerian government respond lé lórí. So any other person can continue to do what they want to do and use whatever tactics they want to use. But let me remind Yoruba people that the whole agenda tí ó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn is to make sure that our Yoruba ni wá upset too much lórí ọ̀rọ̀ election. Àwọn lè lọ ṣe election o, wọ́n di wa lọ́wọ́ o. No. And at the end of the day, that has actually played out now. So more people now are saying, tá bá fẹ́ ṣe election, wọ́n lè ṣe election. Àwa náà ti ń lọ tiwa. But they are living in illusion because the Janja weed does not want Nigeria to break. And to break Nigeria is not going to be something that you would do by calling God and deceiving us and say, God. No, it doesn't work like that. Ẹ̀jẹ̀, wọ́n tẹ̀jẹ̀ sílẹ̀ rẹpẹtẹ ní UK. Máa sọ fún yín. UK ló tẹ̀jẹ̀ sílẹ̀ jù lágbàáyé. So if anybody say, God la máa fi gbà, ẹ fi hàn sílẹ̀. That is illusion. And we are not part of that illusion. Yes, we will all get Yoruba Nation. But if they think that M25 is what they want to use, let them use whatever they want to use. We will continue to agitate. We will continue to give you every reason why Nigeria will break away, which is exactly what I've done today. And I've done it in a way that an average elite that is still supporting that shithole country called Nigeria, at least will now understand that, in tó bá mú Moody láti sọ pé Nigeria will work. That means pé in táwọn Koiki ń sọ, in tí IGBOHO ń sọ, in tí Baba Akintoye ń sọ, in tí Global Directive ń sọ. And let me say this, we have different Yoruba people around the world. So don't let anybody fool you that àwọn làwọn máa take gbogbo charge. Wọ́n tanra wọn ni. They are deceiving themselves because we have Yoruba people all over the world that has to be involved. So if anybody thinks that they want to narrow this Yoruba nation to themselves, they are only in illusion. Illusion lewa. And I want to see illusion here. And that is why we have decided to let them do whatever they want to be doing. So if anybody is not saying, "Kí ni way forward?" The way forward is the Yoruba nation will be achieved. just as Yeye Dara was saying yesterday, it does not matter how long it will take, it does not matter who is going to do it, but one thing is, Nigeria fúnra rẹ̀ ti fẹ́ collapse. Ẹ fi jẹ́ àti mọ́ ẹ ti ní ọmọ lọ́sẹ̀ election náà. Ẹ fẹ́ forget that nonsense. Forget that nonsense. Forget that nonsense. Àwọn ò sí nínú àwọn tí wọ́n fún yín ní false hope. A lot of Yoruba people ti gba false hope sára. Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ tí definitely la fẹ́ kí Nigeria kò break. Ṣé mi ń gbàdúrà kí Nigeria kò exist tẹ́lẹ̀? Ṣèbẹ́ tẹ̀ ti sọ pé ẹnu lèmi dán pé a fẹ́ jà. Àjẹbẹ́ tí náà jà yẹn ní ṣé ti sọ pé yóò jà. Ẹ má jà. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ jà yẹn ẹ má jà o. Àwa ta fẹ́ jà ẹ fà wá sílẹ̀. Because wọ́n sọ nísìn wọ́n ní pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kan dẹ́rù bá wọn kan. Ó rà pórí gbogbo yóò pé pẹ̀lú statement tán sọ yẹn. Pé wọ́n náà àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kan I'm sure pé kò ń ṣe ìlẹ̀ ń sọ ṣá o. Kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe Yorùbá world media. Kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe àwọn media wa tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun. Pé àwọn Yorùbá kan wọ́n ń dẹ́rù bá àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. Àwọn ló ń dẹ́rù àwọn Ìgbò lẹ́yìn ti wá gan. Ta lẹ̀ yí gan bọ́lẹ̀ ti wá. Ta ló mọ̀ yín? Ẹ jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn rí yín kọ́ bá yín ṣe meeting one on one. Ká gbéyàn dìde nísìn ní London kọ́ máa bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín. Ṣèbí aráwọ̀ èèyàn tó dìde láti Amẹ́ríkà láti UK tó lọ sí Benin Republic tó lọ bá bàbá Kíntóyè tó lọ bá Ìgbòho. Ẹ̀yin ṣe ń sá tá àfẹ́jẹ́ ká bá wa ṣe meeting. Kí lẹ̀ ń sá fún? Kí lẹ̀ ń bẹ̀rù fún? Ẹ ń bẹ̀rù ni. Kí lẹ̀ ń bẹ̀rù fún? Èmi Ọláyọmí Kóìkì jáde sí Central London. Àwọn èèyàn tó rí mi rí. Kódà títí dọ̀la ìkan tó ń pẹ̀lẹ̀ ní Nevinati. Ó náà wá sí rally. Ó ní èmi róhùn mọ́ nìgbọ́n òun. Ẹ̀rọ ọ̀dẹ̀. Ìyẹn la fi rí mọ́. Ẹ̀rọ ọ̀rọ̀ pòmù. Rally tó busy. Báwo mo ṣe fẹ́ dá gbogbo èèyàn mọ̀? Ẹni tí mo rí rí tẹ́lẹ̀. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ messages yẹn last year ni ó sọ gbogbo jágbàjà. Mo tẹ silent is it. Ó dùn gan. Mo dáná. Gbogbo message tó send sí mi mo reply ẹ̀. Ó dùn bí egbò. And everyone is living in illusion. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá wá fẹ́ máa live in illusion. Wọ́n náà ń dẹ́rùbà. Wọ́n dẹ̀ máa dẹ́rùbà àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. Wọ́n máa dẹ́rùbà. Àwọn ló ń dẹ́rùbà ọmọ Yorùbá. Àwọn ló ń dẹ́rùbà ọmọ Yorùbá. Dẹ́rùbà ọmọ Yorùbá kankan. Nàìjíríà máa dín pẹ̀lú yín. Àwa mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà ò ṣe ìlú tí a máa fọwọ́ rírọ̀ mú. A máa fọwọ́ líle mú Nàìjíríà ni. A máa fọ́ọ̀sì Nàìjíríà sórí round table ni mo wà báyìí. Àní tó ń pè ní round table ni pé a máa ṣe wòtòwòtò gbogbo tó bá gbà ẹ̀yin yẹn la máa fi fọ́ọ̀sì Nàìjíríà wá. Ẹ̀yin dẹ̀ ti sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ fọ́ọ̀sì Nàìjíríà wá, that's fine. Kúkú disturb wa, dẹ̀ disturb yín, but ẹ má béèrè ìbéèrè lọ́wọ́ wa pé kí ni way forward. Ẹ̀yin ti ní way forward àbí ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ ti gbàdú náà ẹ má tẹ̀síwájú ká máa rí yín. Ta ló disturb yín? Ó dà pọ̀ wọ́n fi pé Yorùbá nation yìí ó dà pọ̀ àwọn kákọ́sì kan lẹ́ẹ̀fì gbà fún. I don't think some of you understand that we are talking about 60 million people. Ẹ wá ń sọ bí gbàtẹ́ pé àwọn ọ̀kan lẹ́fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation fún. Ẹ wá ń ṣe àwa nísìnyí. Èmi sọ gbogbo gbàdí máa ń sọ mo bá ọmọ APC jà àbá ọmọ PDP jà because ọmọ Yorùbá ni wọ́n àlàyé ni kò yé wọn. But ẹ̀yin wá ń ṣe gbàtẹ́ pé Yorùbá nation yẹn ẹ fẹ́ gbà fún àwọn ọ̀kan ẹ fẹ́ gbà fún àwọn ọ̀kan. No, it doesn't work like that o. Yorùbá nation fẹ́ gbà fún gbogbo èèyàn ní. A fẹ́ gbà fún gbogbo èèyàn ní kò ń ṣe èèyàn kan la fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation fún. Nàìjíríà lẹ wá sọ di a máa lọ jókòó síbì kan wọn ò ní ṣe kankan fún wa. Okay, movie yẹn script yẹn lájọ wà báyìí ní but in tó fẹ́ ṣe mo ti sọ fún yín agenda tó fẹ́ create gangan wọ́n ti create agenda yẹn ni pé kí push kankan kó má wá mọ́ fọ́rọ̀ pé ká stop election and tó bá dẹ̀ ti achieve yẹn that is more than enough. Tó bá ti achieve yẹn that is more than enough. So agenda tó ń parọ́ pé àwa kan ni àfẹ́jẹ́ kí wọ́n gba Yorùbá nation a fẹ́ lọ ṣe 2023 agenda yẹn nísìn àti rí result yẹn nísìn. But one thing is ẹ lè púṣì bàbá Kíntóyè ẹ lè púṣì Ìgbòho bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ ọlọ́pọlọ ni wọ́n but ẹ̀yin tí a rí rí àbá yín ṣe mítìn rí èèyàn kọ́kàn ṣe mítìn pẹ̀lú yín rí lórí ìjókòó bóyá wá ń bá àwọn gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ṣe mítìn lọ táwọn ò mọ̀ bọ́ pé èèyàn kan bá yín ṣe mítìn àrírí illusion òun lẹjọ wà. Ọláyọmí Kóìkì lèmi jẹ́ èmi sì ń fi ẹ̀nà mo sì fi ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ ni. Èmi dúró kí ẹ reply mi kí wọ́n reference orúkọ mi gbogbo ìtẹ̀sí máa ń sọ kíní kan number 1 kíní number 2 ẹ kọ́kọ́ dárúkọ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá dárúkọ tí mo bá gbọ́ orúkọ tèmi màá wá fún yín jẹ tán bí mo wà lórí show Yèyé Dára lánàá tí mo dákẹ́ mo kọ̀ ráwò nínú pálọ̀ bíbẹ̀. Bàbá Kíntóyè àti Ìgbòho òun la sì ń fi ọ̀wọ̀ fún wà láìta láìsímọ́ bí láìlàsílẹ̀ èmi ò bẹ̀rù anybody bàbá Akíntóyè àti Ìgbòho òun ni a sì ń fi ọ̀wọ̀ fún. Ọ̀wọ̀ yẹn a dẹ̀ máa fún wọn délẹ̀ ni torí pé àwọn àgbàlagbà àti ẹ̀mọ̀ pé Ìgbòho náà ti dàgbàlagbà, àwọn ọ̀wọ̀ yẹn la ṣe fún wọn. Tí wọ́n bá ń ṣe yẹn ni a ti dí pẹ̀lú yín délẹ̀. Gbogbo nonsense tẹ́ ń play yẹn tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ, èmi Ọláyọmí Kóìkì ni mo sọ̀rọ̀, tó bẹ́ẹ̀ má bá ń fa tó tán lẹ̀, but à ń fi ọ̀wọ̀ fún bàbá Akíntóyè àti Ìgbòho. Ẹ máa bá ti yín lọ, ẹ ṣàfàwá sílẹ̀. So mo dẹ̀ gbọ́ pọ́n ní ẹ pé wọ́n ní kọ́ máa wá sórí program bí ẹ̀ ni ọmọ àlè kan ṣe máa ń wá, ìkan náà wá lánàá Fẹ́mi kinní kan mo ti gbàdà nù. Ẹ máa wá, mọ̀ sí mi ti ní kí n wà careful, wọn náà ti ní kọ́ máa lọ dárúkọ kọ́ máa lọ bá wa jà lórí program tiwa. Mo sọ fún yín, ẹni tí ó ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ àárí lórí Central London látijọ́ ta ti ń ṣe rally Yorùbá Sọjí TV mórí ẹ̀ ń bẹ̀, látijọ́ ta ti ń ṣe rally àárírí kò jáde sójú títì rí, kò jáde sójú títì rí. Ẹ wá fẹ́ compare ẹni tó ń lead yín gan báyìí, èèyàn kankan bá ṣe meeting rí. Ọ̀wọ̀ ta ṣe ń fún yín torí pé ó sì ń bọ̀ látọ̀dọ̀ bàbá Akíntóyè, torí pé bàbá yẹn sọ pé òun ò ní fẹnu òun láyé fi bọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá kankan, bọ̀ kò ṣe bí irú àwa nítorí èmi lè bu ọba torí bàbá madness ni wọ́n, èmi lè bu anybody, but ẹ má rò pé a stupid. Ẹ̀yin tí wọ́n ń tàn ẹjọ́ máa tanra yín, gbogbo àjọ wà nínú ẹ̀. Nigerian government lẹ́yìn rò pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ọwọ́ kékeré fún Nigerian government náà. Nigerian government ready láti pa anybody lórí pé kó save Nigeria. So tí àwọn bá dákẹ́ báyìí, àmọ́ tá à ń ṣe ni kò ń ṣe pé kinní kankan, because gbogbo rọ́tẹ̀ ti pa, gbogbo bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ bá àrìn àjò yẹn jẹ́ àti ó ti clear nísìn. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá kẹ́rì, gbogbo tó kálukú bá ṣe bó ni mo sọ nísìn pé ọ̀rẹ́ mi tó súnmọ́ mi tímọ́tímọ́ 4 years àìtí ìríra sójú débi pé mo máa bá sọ̀rọ̀, àná ní àṣẹ sọ̀rọ̀ after 4 years torí ìṣọ̀tà gbé dání. Èèyàn kan wá dé lọ́sọ̀kan òru kan, ọ̀hún lọ́wọ́ perfect, orí ọmọ Yorùbá ó dà ń pòrí yín ti gbálẹ̀. Ẹ wá sọ tábàbá tánẹ wọn ní wàhálà media làwọn Yorùbá world media ló ń sọ òtítọ́ nítorí pé ibẹ̀ lòtítọ́ wà. Ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ fẹ́ gbọ́ òtítọ́ ni, but àwọn ò ní ẹ mọ̀ pé diplomatic man lèmi, ẹ mọ̀ pé ẹ̀nà ni mo sì fi ń sọ̀rọ̀, but tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ. Tó bá bí yín dá kẹ́ dárúkọ mi, tó bá bí yín dá kẹ́ dárúkọ mi, kò ń ṣe gbọ́lẹ̀ kájà mi dà mo bá sọ̀rọ̀, yídà yín gangan ni mo bá sọ̀rọ̀. Tó bá bí yín dá ẹ̀yẹn dárúkọ mi, ẹ wá rí bá wèrè kẹ́ni gbogbo àwọn ìyá àkàtà máa ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ yín ẹ̀yẹ wà láàbọ̀dì kan yẹn, máa kó fún yín rẹpẹtẹ. Èmi ò kàn fẹ́ tí ì ṣe yẹn torí pé mo rí pé èmi ò fẹ́ come to your level, torí èmi ti ṣẹ́rí ẹ̀rí pé bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe ń ṣe program, èmi gbé yín lọ from the international level ni, èmi ò sí nínú àwọn bọ́lẹ̀ kájà media. So bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn. Ẹ̀yà ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀, tásìkò bá tó the next instruction á jáde. Tẹ́ ẹ̀ báyìí tí gbọ́ instruction látọ̀dọ̀ ẹnu bàbá Akíntóyè, any instruction tẹ́ bá sì ń gbọ́ bọ́lẹ̀ kájà ní gbogbo yẹn. Ìtọ́ bá wọn olúkàlùkù ṣebí Tinubu ló ń ṣe tiẹ̀ lọ nísìn, kó olúkàlùkù máa ṣe tiẹ̀ lọ, but agenda tẹ́ fẹ́ fi bàrìn àjò yìí jẹ́ Elédùmarè á dálé yín lórí torí pé látọdún mẹ́ta so etí yín di ẹ̀yin ò gbọ́ pé ń ṣe Yorùbá nation látọdún mẹ́ta. Ẹ wá kúkú ẹ wá wá láàrin méjì, ẹ fẹ́ bàrìn àjò yẹn jẹ́. Ọlọ́run á mú gbogbo yín, Ọlọ́run ọba á mú gbogbo yín torí ọdún mẹ́ta. So kò sọmọ Yorùbá kan tó máa lóhùn wà lágbàáyé tó máa sọ pé wọn ò gbọ́ pé ń ṣe Yorùbá nation. Kò tí irọ́ ló pa for 3 years. Kéèyàn kan sọ pé àgbọ̀ pé wọ́n ṣe Yorùbá nation, irọ́ lẹ pa nítorí pé ẹ ti ní agenda yẹn dẹ̀ ó wọlé. Ẹ try lóòótọ́, but ẹ lè bàrìn àjò yìí jẹ́ as long as tèmi Ọláyọmí Kóìkì of Kóìkì. Mo sọ fún yín pé èmi ò sọ pé mo condemn àwọn media tó kù, but èmi tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ni èèyàn kan sì pè mí lánàá náà, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi kan wọ́n ní kíyè máa sọ pé àwọn ẹnikẹ́fà àwọn British sílẹ̀. Ogun ni British kó wá sí Nàìjíríà, lọ kó wá sí Yorùbá kingdom tó fi wá gbà nǹkan jẹ́ ogun gidi. So ẹ má máa sọ fún mi pé kí n máa ṣe díẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn British. Ẹni máa kú ẹni máa yè ni, àwa la máa yè. Èmi ẹ forget about àwọn British ní kàn pẹ̀lú àwọn British ló dá wàhálà sílẹ̀. So ẹ jẹ́ ká dì pẹ̀lú British. Family kan ni wọ́n ti parun ní Nàìjíríà nísìn. Ẹ imagine ìtò lè mú àwọn ọmọ yẹn pé kọ́ ní kọ́ máa gbé òkú yẹn bọ̀, ó ń ṣe torí owó yẹn, nítorí pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ jẹ́ kí òkú ìyá wọn kó wà nínú Nàìjíríà. Kábíyèsí Elédùmarè. Ẹ imagine èèyàn máa kú ní London, wọ́n á ní kó gbé lọ Nàìjíríà, àwọn ilé ní kó gbé òkú yẹn padà bí wọ́n ṣe gbé òkú bàbá wa náà padà lọ sí Maryland. Mo ti get over it. wàláì mo ti get over it látàná yẹn òkú tíyàn kú sí Nàìjíríà tó jẹ́ pé UK ló ń gbé ṣebí Nàìjíríà rẹ kọ́ sí tó bá jẹ́ pé ìlú tó lálùbáríkà ni káwọn ọmọ yẹn dẹ̀ lọ́lé èlò ló fẹ́ cost àwọn ọmọ yẹn àwọn ọmọ tó ń gbòkú bọ̀ èlò ló fẹ́ cost wọn láti lọ́lé wá lọ́lé náà tó bá jẹ́ pé Nigeria is a peaceful country they will go back home. Good evening, good morning, Eunice. They'll go back home, but eventually they actually. I was listening on Facebook, but the fire was too hot. I had to call you, Mr. Quick. Yeah, sometimes the fire immediately. Imagine a close friend of mine. The mother-in-law died, and I did not even know. And somebody will say, "Anche Yoruba nation tori owo, oye elo lowo na." Efe ba rin ajo yẹn jẹ́. Ẹ̀dá à ń gbọ́ tẹ́ ń sọ náà làwọn náà ń gbọ́ o bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe ń gbọ́ tiwa àjọ ń gbọ́ra wa àwọn kan ní ẹbọ Koiki ẹ jẹ́ kájọ lọ ní àṣẹ kankan náà o we are not doing the same thing o bí ẹ̀kọ́ wá sọ fún yín pé ẹ sọ fún ọ pé mi Ọláyọmí kò tó sọ fún àṣẹ kankan náà tó bá sọ pé kankan náà là ń ṣe ni nǹkan méjì kí bọ́ọ̀lẹ̀ kájà mi dàrún kájọ pàdé ní Central London ìyẹn number 1 challenge kájọ pàdé then the second challenge ibi tí wọ́n wà afẹ́mọbi tó wà pápá wọn lọ ṣe meeting irọ́ ti pọ̀ jù gbogbo yín lẹ lọ sọ́dọ̀ àti mo sọ fún wọn sórí bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn mo ń gba data ẹ̀ ó ń pile up túbọ̀ máa gbé gbogbo tí wọ́n fi mọ́ọ̀kì Ìgbòho níta máa gbé lọ sínú group ẹ̀ ọmọ kan mọ̀ tí ìdárúkọ ẹ̀ bọ̀ tó mọ rẹ̀ ọkùnrin nìyẹn máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo tó ń ṣe yẹn tó bá jẹ́ pé èmi ò mọ̀ pé ó jẹ nínú ilé Ìgbòho ó sùn nínú ilé Ìgbòho owó mọ́tò nínú ilé Ìgbòho ó wá mọ́ọ̀kì Ìgbòho lójoojúmọ́ nínú group tó wà yẹn gbogbo bó ṣe ń ṣe wọ́n ń gbé wá bá mi lórí desk túbọ̀ máa mọ́ọ̀kì Ìgbòho ọmọ akẹ́mọ̀ ìdárúkọ ẹ̀ máa mọ́ọ̀kì Ìgbòho bí àwọn olùfẹ́ ṣe ṣé olùfẹ́ ṣe chief of army staff ṣé àti promise ẹni chief of army staff bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹ wá ẹ máa ṣe Yorùbá ẹ máa wo rántí Lamid ẹ máa wo rántí ẹnu ẹni gbogbo àjọ wà wọ́n ń parọ́ ni ẹ̀yẹ́ ní gbogbo wa káyà ṣáà máa ṣe tiwa lọ ká máa educate àwọn èèyàn bí èyí dára ṣe sọ lánàá mo wà lórí program mo kàn kọ́mẹ́ǹtì ni mo wà bẹ́ẹ̀ tó fi ṣe tán pé Scotland ti ń jà tipẹ́ West Sahara ti ń jà àwọn yẹn tẹ̀ jagun ni so pé ní àmọ́ sọ pé Yorùbá nation ti kú tàbí sọ pé Yorùbá nation is not there it is still ongoing but ìwọ bí wọ́n ti promise ẹni chief of army staff ṣé orí gbogbo àwọn ìyàtọ̀ náà wà ní abroad yẹn gbogbo wọn pátápátá èmi mọ ẹni tó wá láti Dublin tó wá sí rally London adam àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe rally náà ní London ní outside London ní Dublin ní adam àwọn tó ń ṣe ní Manchester tó yẹ pé wọ́n wá sí èdè mi àti heritage lọ sí Manchester àwọn alájà ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé kódà under 1 hour notice ní gbogbo wọn fi pàdé wa níbẹ̀ wọ́n kọ̀ gbọ́ pé Koiki àti heritage ń bọ̀ ní Manchester wàláì gbogbo wọn get together ni tó tún sáré dáná rẹpẹtẹ tó so oúnjẹ kódà mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyá tó host wá sínú ilé wọn ilé yẹn mo rí irú ilé yẹn rí ó tóbi bí irú ilé yẹn mo ti wo fíìmù RRR so what we are saying is ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ ṣe sùúrù ẹ má sọ fún wa pé àmọ́bi kankan tá à ń kó yín lọ àwọn kan tí ń kó yín lọ síbì kan ibi tó bá wù ní kó yín lọ ibi tó bá wù wọ́n ní kó yín lọ àwa sì wà lójú pé Nigerian government a máa force ẹ̀ wá sórí round table bàdẹ̀ má ṣe force ẹ̀ wá sórí round table ká máa educate yín ká máa ṣe awareness you can disagree with our views tèmi máa yàtọ̀ sí Yorùbá world media views tèmi máa yàtọ̀ sí táwọn media tó kù torí èmi mọ̀ pé ìjà lájọ máa wá sórí round ìjà yẹn àjọ máa gbé wá sórí round table ni but ẹ bá wá sọ pé wọ́n máa ṣe election Koiki ọjọ́ tí ń súnmọ́ nǹkan èmi sọ fún yín pé ẹ kàn máa sọ fún àwọn family yín kọ́ máa súnmọ́ polling unit because information tó ń dọ́wọ́ wa especially in Lagos jandor wọ́n máa para wọn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ confam ni mo sọ fún yẹn èmi wà lé ṣẹ́rí ẹ mọ̀ pé tí bá sọ pé tí bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ èmi máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́rì I was in Nigeria in 2019 before Yoruba nation mo lọ sílé ni kò ń ṣe pé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì kan ló sponsor mi ṣẹ́rí gbogbo àwọn foreigner international observer everybody has extra food hotel ló máa ń gbé wọ́n máa fún wọn ní sójà èmi lọ as a underdog layman because mo fẹ́ lọ witness ẹ̀ ìjà tó fẹ́ jà ní Èkó ní Mushin àti ní Sùúrùlérè mo witness ẹ̀ because my family two of my family were involved ìkan control Mushin APC ni ìkan control PDP ní Àgùdà wọ́n fẹ́ para wọn tó ń wọ́n ara wọn pé tá a bá pàdé so 2023 election yìí advise your people not to get involved ẹ sá kúrò fún election yẹn we will say election is not going to hold because already the indices that Nigeria wants to dàwó tó fẹ́ fi wó òun ló ń lọ ní ẹ̀kan yẹn I have to go now because mo ní láti lọ prepare for Star Radio so bẹ́ẹ̀ni I want to promise ẹlòmíì ìkan tó wà ẹ má bínú pé mo fẹ́ lo language arọkẹ́sì nìyẹn ìyẹn ló ń bá wọn mobilize owó káàkiri I just pity a lot of people. And we know that there's poverty on the ground. We understand. So ibi tẹ́tí fẹ́ jẹ, ìyẹn ló bá wọn mobilize owó. Ìgbà tẹ́mi lọ sílé, ó confam tẹ́mi ni, ó ní kí n jọ pé tóun bá ṣe lè dé France, òun fẹ́ lọ treat ara òun. He has disability. Kí n má sọ pé allocation, kí n withdraw yẹn, or kí n sọ pé tó ní disability. Ìwọ ló ń bá wọn monitor gbogbo nǹkan bá wọn ṣe owó. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lókè ògùn, ẹ jẹ́ kó máa deceive yín o. Gbogbo yín nísìnyí ẹ fẹ́ ṣe ti gbowó mọ́, no problem. Ẹ fẹ́ ṣe ti gbowó mọ́, no problem. Ẹ má ṣe ti gbowó, but for life àwa kan a máa lóyà sí. Kò ṣe pé à lóyà sí Yorùbá nation. Tí ìbá lóyà sí Yorùbá nation, ọ̀rẹ́ mi mo ní mọ̀ pé ìyá ìyàwó ẹ̀ kú. Ẹ mọ̀ bá ṣe close ni. Mo sọ pé nígbà tó ọlọ́pàá dá dúró ní ìlú yìí, láàárín gbogbo wa pátápátá. Mo wà lórí program bàbá ẹ̀, mo wà lórí program. Kí ló ti ṣẹlẹ̀? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Sọ̀rọ̀. Tí bá ṣe tán mo ti fẹ́ ṣe tán nísìn. Àwọn ọmọ mi náà lèkìtì ni àdúpẹ́ fún wọn. Àbúrò mo yẹ nísìn, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin mídíà wa táwọn nílé ẹ fọkànbalẹ̀. Èèyàn jẹ́ ká máa báṣẹ́ lọ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa pé Yorùbá nation náà ni. Wọ́n lè máa sọ pé but ẹ promise wa ní 2022 ojú ẹ kó kẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀ sójú. Ẹ̀yin ò rí pé wọ́n ti bàrẹ̀ àjò yẹn jẹ́ láàrin méjì. Ẹ̀yin kó kẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀ sójú. Ẹ fẹ́ ti Ìgbòho. Ẹ fẹ́ camouflage Ìgbòho. Oh, bàbá yẹn ó gbọ́n pa. Orí ẹ̀ nọ́mbà 6 ni. Èmi dẹ̀ ní Ìgbòho. Tẹ́mi bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ èmi ní Ìgbòho. Tẹ́mi bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ bá Ìgbòho ló ń sọ̀rọ̀. So nítorí kò yẹ kó yé yín nìyẹn. But ní tí mo fẹ́ kó yé gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ wá lé ni pé ẹ fọkànbalẹ̀. Nàìjíríà máa wó kò sọgbọ́n ẹ̀. Ìjà tó ń bọ̀ láàárín àwọn politician, àwọn òfin get involved ni, but òun ló ń bọ̀ yẹn. Torí wọ́n tó promise ní chief of army staff, òótọ́ rẹ̀. Torí ṣẹlẹ̀ ìtẹ́ máa ń sọ pé wọ́n máa fún yín ní, ìyàn lè fún yàn ní letter of invitation kí British refuse it. So if they are promising you visa, lọ sí America, lọ sí France, lọ sí UK, lọ sí Dublin, you better be careful. You better be careful, okay? Be careful. Be careful. Ìyẹn lọ fi ń promise wọn. Máa mọ́ kí Ìgbòho ìwọ ọkùnrin yẹn inú ilé Ìgbòho ni wọ́n ń sùn tó ń jí tó ń jẹun. Kódà ìgbà míì kan wá tí wá bá mi pé mo tí yóò. Ìwọ ló wá mọ́ kí Ìgbòho lójoojúmọ́ nínú group ẹ túbọ̀ máa ṣe. Ní kò má fall in love pẹ̀lú àwọn tẹjọ́ fall in love, but ìwọ ò rí wọn rí. Ìwọ dẹ̀ rí Ìgbòho for so many times. Ẹni tí wọ́n torí ẹ̀ mọ́ kí Ìgbòho ìwọ ò tí ì rí wọn rí. Kábíyèsí Elédùmarè. Nǹkan ń bẹ láyé láìkú Ìgbòho. Kábíyèsí Elédùmarè Ọlọ́run ọba o. Àdúpẹ́ fún ẹ o. Ẹ má bínú èèyàn wa. Àmì ìjì bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Mo kí ẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Lamid, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin mídíà wa tẹ bá wà lábẹ́ tẹ́yìn náà rán dọ́gbọ́n wò. Èmi náà máa ń dọ́gbọ́n wò lẹ́ẹ̀kan pẹ̀lú náà máa wà ń bẹ̀ mú ni. Tí bá kọ́mẹ̀ntì náà nìyẹn máa mọ̀. A kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pátá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọkàn balẹ̀. Ibi tá à ń rí lọ, ẹ má gbọ́ náà nílé ìgbà kọ́. Má padà wá bí alọ́sàn. Bọ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ mọ̀ pé ìfún wọn ní. Bọ̀tí spirit bá jí láàárọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn máa fi sáré ṣe program. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìyá wa. Ẹ̀yin ìyá wa, mọ́mí wa kan, wọ́n ní mọ́mísí mi sọ fún mi lánàá pé she was very very bitter pẹ̀lú bí gbogbo kìíní ẹ̀ ṣe ń lọ. Ẹ fọkàn yín balẹ̀ lágbára Elédùmarè. A kí Mùsùlùmí. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin oníṣẹ̀ṣe. A kí bàbá wa Ìbà Gani Adams gbogbo wọn fẹ́. A kí àwọn bàbá wa Fẹ́nifẹ́re. A kí gbogbo yín náà là ń kí. So but gbogbo wa ìrìn àjò Yorùbá nation òun ló yẹ kó jẹ wá lógún o. Nigeria cannot work. It cannot work. Ẹ àwọn ọmọ Ghana ní it cannot work. Ẹ jẹ́ kí èmi àti Archie ká lọ pàdé láàárọ̀ yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ jẹ́kọ́mọ̀ ká close broadcast yẹn. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọkàn balẹ̀. Nigeria is at the verge of breakup. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹni tó bá ti download Jàǹgbárá rédíò ẹ lọ download ẹ máa gbọ́ oríṣiríṣi láti bẹ̀. Ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ tún ní ìmọ̀ dáadáa àwọn ìmọ̀ tó yẹ pé a lè penetrate tí NTA bá jáde báyìí kọ́ máa rí Yorùbá nation àwọn kìíní yẹn possible but brain ni kọ́kọ́ tán NTA news kọ́kọ́ rí Yorùbá nation wá pa gbogbo ẹ̀ àwọn máa kẹ̀ báwo ló ń ṣe penetrate wọ NTA èyí tẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ lẹ́ntì ẹ fún aláwọn kóòdù yẹn ìmílẹ̀ àwọn ti máa fún mo fi dárúkọ bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn wà láàrin wọn bẹ̀ á fún ní kóòdù yẹn òun àmọ́ bóun ṣe máa ń yẹ gbogbo àwọn kọ́tẹ́ ká máa ṣe nìyẹn kọ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí FRNC kọ́kọ́ já sí Yorùbá nation èwo tún lélẹ̀ kẹ̀ wá pa gbogbo ẹ̀mí lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ gbogbo tó máa frustrate wọn la máa ṣe so ẹ fún wa láwọn kóòdù yẹn so that ten tí ẹ bá ti fẹ́ ṣe program wọn láàárọ̀ báyìí àbí lọ́sàn-án kọ́kọ́kọ́ rí Yorùbá nation Biafra nation káyà wọn já so ẹ fi sílẹ̀ jẹ́ kó máa èmi ò ní dárúkọ ẹ ó jẹ nínú ilé Ìgbòho ó sùn nínú ilé Ìgbòho ó tún síkì nínú ilé Ìgbòho tún tọ́jú ẹ̀ ó gbowó lọ́wọ́ Ìgbòho òun ló fẹ́ ṣe chief of army staff nísìn wọ́n ti promise ẹ̀ di chief of army staff gbogbo bó ṣe ń ṣe ó ń dérí desk mi ó wọ̀ pé mo dárúkọ ẹ èmi mọ̀ pé èmi máa ń gbé nǹkan mọ́ra èmi mọ̀ pé bá dá pàwọn ẹlòmíì sàn wá dárúkọ èmi ti dárúkọ ẹ bọ ẹ bá wa lọ gba ìjìnlẹ̀ sílẹ̀ o ìjìnlẹ̀ ẹ bá wa hún nìyẹn ìjìnlẹ̀ ẹ bá wa gbà sílẹ̀ ẹ bá wa lọ gbà sílẹ̀ bàbá wí tán wá ní bàbá kí tó yóò sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìjìnlẹ̀ Ìgbòho sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìjìnlẹ̀ wá tètè máa sọ wọ́n ní Yorùbá world media ọ̀rẹ́ bàbí mi ẹ mọ̀ fi dárúkọ ẹ gbogbo wa ni máa ń rí Twitter I keep telling them it's nonsense bàbá Ọ̀túnba Òsẹ́ni ò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú ìjìnlẹ̀ okay so all that nonsense kẹ̀kẹ́ tutù ẹ̀ dànù. I won't be surprised ẹ mọ̀ pé bí ẹ máa wo fíìmù gan ni I won't be surprised pé àwọn fúnra wọn lọ ṣiṣẹ́ tí wọ́n fi lọ mú ìjìnlẹ̀ I won't be surprised bí ìjìnlẹ̀ ti gbọ́n kankan ó ti rí kankan bí ó fẹ́ pull back ni only God knows àfi tó bá jáde ló máa confirm fún rẹ̀ I won't be surprised mo sọ fún ìyàwó mi pé I won't be surprised pé àwọn gangan lọ instigate tí Nigerian High Commission tó ṣe lórí kọ́ lọ gbé ìjìnlẹ̀ I won't be surprised ẹ mọ̀ tá ń di pẹ̀lú ìrànṣẹ́ kan kékeré because unlikely pé ìjìnlẹ̀ ti gbọ́n kankan tó wá kí ni ó bá fẹ́ irọ́ o ẹ bá dé mọ́lẹ̀ tó máa fi parí election kò sí tó possible láyé yìí ẹ jẹ́ kí a máa ṣe èmi máa ń wo nǹkan ju èmi lọ èmi máa ń wo bí a torí mo ti wo fíìmù tó pọ̀ I was telling my wife I won't be surprised pé ìjìnlẹ̀ ti gbọ́n kankan ó wá fẹ́ pull back àbí kó fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan láyé ẹ mọ̀ pé ó dàbí tó fẹ́ rí nǹkan kan tó fẹ́ sọ pé ò lè sọ lè síta ẹ̀dẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ Ọlọ́run á bá wa tú sílẹ̀ Ọlọ́run lọ́jọ́ ẹ̀ní á bá wa tú our brother ìjìnlẹ̀ sílẹ̀ gbogbo ọ̀nà tẹ́yìn bá mọ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti gba ẹ̀dìgbà nation ẹ lọ bá wa fi tú ìjìnlẹ̀ sílẹ̀ so mo kàn tó ẹ mọ̀ pé mo tún ṣí máìdì ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ni o ṣẹ́rí ìwà tó máa ń sọ pé bàbá Ọ̀túnba Òsẹ́ni kòkò oníkankan ṣe pẹ̀lú ìjìnlẹ̀ màmá wa Jennifer Sake oníkankan ṣe pẹ̀lú ìjìnlẹ̀ Yorùbá world media oníkankan ṣe pẹ̀lú ìjìnlẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ gbogbo nonsense talk yẹn I'm not begging anybody to be on this platform gbogbo yìí ti di ghost watcher tó bẹ́ẹ̀ láti comment wọn nísìn àní ìdìbẹ́ yẹn lẹ́yìn yẹn wa ó dàbọ̀ mad people all over the place. orílẹ̀-èdè kàgbéga ìgbàgbọ́ bá ti bẹ̀rù ká ṣiṣẹ́ ìṣọ̀kan ní kẹjẹ tẹ̀síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtúntò bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀nà Olúwa bọ́ sí ipò ìwọ ni o ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀ àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn Yorùbá world media ẹ má bínú lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ó dàbọ̀ bye for now. Mo kí gbogbo yín o a pàdé lọ́sàn-án tá a bá ti wá lọ́sàn-án we will go with the same program and then àkọ́ṣe phone call ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ prepare fún Star Radio. Mo kí yan ìyá mi Grace mo kí gbogbo silent listener ẹ jẹ́ olóòótọ́ àwọn kan for reason known they don't want to comment but they are watching and they are following everything. Yoruba Nation is still an ongoing project and it's a project that will be completed láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Ẹ jẹ́ agbọ́díyà òjò ká tó máa lọ. Mo kí àwọn media àzọ̀ tó wà nílé. No retreat, no surrender ni. Ìjáyà, my brother, I love you all. Mo ń wá orin yẹn ni o. Ẹ tó bá wọ́n dà pé software la máa ń lò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí OBS, ó fẹ́ fún mi ní problem láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Àwọn àjọ̀nú fẹ́ gbé lọ tó padà. Ah, no, it's not easy. Bye for now.
Yorùbá nation yìí ti gbogbo wa ni kó má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́ torí kò sílùú mìíràn.
Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful.